of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are Southwest.
Texas Rangers baseball is presented by AT&T Uverse TV. Welcome to another warm, beautifully clear night here at Globe Life Park in Arlington. The Rangers taking on the Houston Astros. Coming up is Game 2 of this three-game series. And welcome in, everyone, along with Tom Greaves, Steve Busby. Glad you could join us for this Tuesday night of Rangers baseball. Rangers trying to get back on the winning side of things, both in their overall record and against the Astros. They've lost 3 straight to their mates from Houston, and tonight they'd like to change that around. They're going to go with their 47th player of the year tonight, and that will be Phil Irwin, guy that they brought up from AAA, and just hoping that he can throw strikes for him.
Well, that's one thing that's going to be important tonight, Buzz, is throwing strikes. The bullpen has been taxed. It's going to be important for Phil to pitch deep into the ball game. We've never seen him before. We hear he has a very good curveball, good assortment of pitches. He pitched very well at Round Rock. In his last 5 starts there, he was 4-0, had a great ERA of 1.23. In one of those starts, he pitched 7 innings, didn't walk a batter, and struck out 11. So he's pitched well enough to earn the right to be here. Now he has to overcome the jitters of this start, throw strikes, and hopefully pitch deep into the ballgame.
Yeah, his second Major League start overall, had one with the Pirates before having some arm problems. So he'll be out there tonight and trying to calm himself down for his second big league start. He'll be backed up by Elvis Andrus and company. We will have the starting lineup for the first pitch for you coming up right after this on Fox Sports Southwest. preparation leading up to next week's 2014 All-Star Game to be played at Target Field in Minnesota. That game will be on Fox for you on Tuesday night, the 15th of July. And there'll be a couple of Rangers there, a couple of Astros, and a lot of other stars. Adrian Beltre and HOU Darvish representing the Rangers in Minnesota. Should be a great time, be a great production on Fox next Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. Now, before we get things started here in Arlington tonight, let's head down to the field for Emily Jones.
Well, Buzz, another day, another Ranger making his Ranger debut. This time it is Phil Irwin who gets the ball tonight because Nick Martinez was put on the DL after suffering some discomfort in his lower back after, of all things, working on some BP when the Rangers were playing interleague. Nonetheless, Phil Irwin getting his second major league start, his first as a Ranger. He says the key is, not surprisingly, but don't put too much pressure on yourself.
I put a lot of pressure on myself the first start in my debut, and it didn't go very well. So just try to relax and go out there and be the pitcher that I know I am and not try to be anybody else. So I know some of the guys on the other team, so I'm going to feel pretty comfortable pitching against them.
And he has been good at the AAA level going forward, and one since being picked up off of waivers from Pittsburgh. So a fresh start a bit for Phil, and we'll see how he does here in his Rangers debut tonight.
All right, Emily, let's hope it translates well to the big league level, and hopefully the 27-year-old will be able to get the Rangers deep into this ball game with the lead. And here's a look at the Astros lineup that Phil Irwin will face tonight. Jose Altuve, the second baseman, leads off. He's followed by Robbie Grossman, just recalled from AAA. George Springer gets the start in center field. John Singleton at first, batting cleanup. Matt Dominguez is the third baseman. Chris Carter again the DH. Carlos Corporan catches. Kike Hernandez is in left field, and batting ninth at shortstop, Marwin Gonzalez.
And we'll check out our Sonic scouting report for Phil Irwin. Second career major league start. The only other one came last year. That was for Pittsburgh against Cincinnati. 7 games, 6 starts at AAA Round Rock. Numbers are very good. A nice win-loss record. A 2.41 ERA. Opponents only hit .222 against him. And this is a good one, Buzz. The 1,000th player in franchise history. Nice round number right there.
Sure is. You were a part of that. See,
Yeah.
without you, you'd only be $9.99.
That's exactly right. It's a good way of looking at it.
Set to get underway, and here's Jose Altuve, the league's leading hitter, who takes high for ball one. Altuve, a couple of hits last night, and at .338 average tops in the junior circuit. Is 4 points ahead of Adrian Beltre as we start tonight. Pitch fouled away. It's 1 ball and 1 strike now to Altuve.
I'll give you a little bit of information about Phil Irwin. He was a waiver claim by the Rangers from the Pirates the end of May. He was with Pittsburgh for a couple of days this year, didn't make any appearances, missed most of last year with some elbow surgery. Reportedly, he has an average fastball, and his best pitch is his curveball. So the key, Buzz, for him is be able to spot his fastball and get the curveball over and make them swing at it tonight.
2-1 the count, and Altuve fouls it away. Yeah, and by his own admission, Phil Irwin said, I'm not going to light up a radar. I'm not going to make your eyes pop out of your head. But said if I have the command of the fastball that I need, just like you're talking about, Tony, so I can pitch a little bit.
Sure.
That's pretty good assessment. 2-2 to Altuve. Up the middle by Odor into center field, and the hit machine continues to roll here with Altuve, a leadoff single.
Yeah, Altuve, he is a hit machine, boy. He hit .411 in June. He stole 14 bases in the month of June. Last 22 games, he's hitting .410. You can look at pretty much any facet of the game and come up with a little gem about Altuve this year. He definitely deserves to be on the All-Star team. Short in stature, but his game is a big-time game, boy.
So very definitely a steal threat at first. Here's Robbie Grossman. He takes high for ball one. Grossman called up today to take the place of the injured Alex Presley. Presley, if you remember last night, hurt himself on a swing late in the ball game. And to leave, L.J. Hose came on to finish the at-bat in the 8th inning and a sacrifice fly. And so Presley with that strained oblique. There goes the runner from first, Altuve, and pitch fouled away. It's a good thing, too, because Altuve had that thing stolen easily.
Well, Altuve has not been thrown out very much this year. 39 out of 42. Been thrown out only 3 times. Doesn't have a huge lead, but he's got a little bit of a walking lead, and he reaches full speed quicker than most guys.
We'll see if Phil Irwin can cut that leg kick down just a little bit. Use more of a slide step if that's part of his repertoire. If not, he's going to have to go to work on Altuve to disrupt his timing over there. And again, Altuve going to throw to second, not in time. And even with the reduced leg kick, Irwin's still a little slow getting the ball to home plate. Didn't give Chris Jimenez much of a chance, and Altuve with his 40th stolen base of the year.
He's so quick. He just gets started and reaches full speed immediately. 40th stolen base of the year.
About 3 steps to top speed, huh?
Really? He's got a chance of stealing, 65 bases this year. He's always been an excellent base stealer, but he's being thrown out hardly at all this year. Last couple of years, he was 33 out of 45, somewhere around in there. Good, but not great.
Right.
Now he's great.
And getting on base all the time with the base hits.
Getting a lot of opportunities to steal bases.
2-2 the count to Grossman. Didn't mean to do it. He swings at the pitch down and in. And now Jimenez hang on to the ball, and that's going to allow Grossman to beat the throw to first. I'm not really sure what Chris was doing, taking a long look out at Altuve, but Grossman not taking anything for granted, just kept on going, and Jimenez couldn't throw him out.
Well, you got to be aware of Altuve at second base. If you just field the ball mindlessly and throw it to first, Altuve could scoot over to third. But once you see him there, jump out quickly, make a little fake, and get the ball to first base. You've got to get the out at first. Even if Altuve does go to third, you got to get the out at first. I think Chris was just a little bit too careful with Altuve that time. Allowed Grossman to get to first. Wasted the good curveball and the strikeout right there.
No, runners at first and second, nobody out. And George Springer will step to the plate. Springer, a .234 average with 17 home runs and 46 driven in. A strike to the outside corner. Second among rookies with those 17 home runs, of course, Jose Abreu. The White Sox leading rookies and second in the American League with 27 home runs. Irwin back to the plate. The breaking ball is in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike.
I guess Altuve has reached the point, Buzz, where the respect for his speed has reached the highest of all levels.
Yeah, it's still pretty tough. You can give him a 15-foot lead from second. If you throw the ball to first and then throw the ball to third, it's going to be tough for him to beat the throws.
Yeah, as fast as he is. I agree.
Fouled away by Springer. The count moves to 1-2. But it happens. You overanalyze stuff, and what do they call it? Paralysis by analysis.
Yeah, and you just kind of lose track of the task at hand, which is get the ball to first base. We'll see if Phil can pitch around that. He had good pitch. He threw Grossman a breaking ball down and in, got him to swing at a bad pitch. Springer is a little bit prone to the strikeout. In fact, a little bit more than prone to the strikeout. Make a good pitch right here, and maybe you can get another one.
The 1-2. Trying to go up with the fastball, and Springer, kind of a defensive swing for him. And let's take a look at the Rangers defense while we have a moment. It's delivered to you by Fred Loya Insurance. Rangers in the outfield tonight. Jake Smolinski gets his first major league start. He's in left field. Martin and Rios are in center and right. Pena at first, Odor and Andrews up the middle, Beltre at third. Chris Jimenez is behind the plate this evening. Pitches in the dirt, and the count goes even now at 2-2. So far, that Jeff Irwin curveball, or Phil Irwin curveball, has been out of the strike zone. He hasn't been able to throw it for a called strike yet. And the Astros have been able, for the most part, to lay off it. Grossman, the obvious exception, who struck out. Towering drive to left, that's hooking, and will go well foul.
Well, had home run distance. Fortunately, he got out in front of it. Springer, as we remarked yesterday, has great power. He can hit a ball 475 feet. That ball had good movement on it. Kind of came in inside corner, a little bit off the plate.
The only problem is that the target was set outside.
Yeah, well, can't have everything.
Irwin again at 2-2. And that's fouled away to the right.
Springer's hit 17 home runs in the last 2 months. He's on a pretty good tear. He had a great month of May. 294, 10 home runs, and 25 RBIs. Kind of gives you a glimpse of what he's capable of doing over a period of time.
And he's on a pretty short list with those 17 home runs since he got called up. It was on May 8th. Only 3 players have more home runs than George Springer did in that time period. Next pitch to him is high, and count is now full. Encarnacion has 22. Nelly Cruz has 19. And then Springer with 17. It's a pretty exclusive list. So a full count with nobody out. A couple of runners aboard. Springer hitting third to be followed by the cleanup man. That is John Singleton. Irwin with the payoff pitch. It's low, ball 4. That'll load him up. And it'll bring out Mike Maddox for his first visit to the mound.
Well, it's 19 pitches, and unfortunately there's nobody out. Even with the opportunity to get Grossman, who struck out. Now it's bases loaded, nobody out, and 19 pitches. Oh boy, you really need a double play. Need a couple of quick outs right here to try to keep the pitch count down. And so this will give Phil a little bit of a break. Take a deep breath, get your thoughts straight, and try to come back and make some pitches right here. Got ahead of Springer and couldn't make a pitch to put him away. Singleton's another guy with great power. We saw it last night. He hit a ball over the Ranger bullpen a couple of rows back.
Yeah.
That thing was in the air a long time and went a long way. But, like Springer, he's got the power, but if you make some good pitches, you've got a chance to strike him out. And right here with the bases loaded, that'd be exactly what you're looking for.
It's that first pitch outside for ball 1. The home run last night, Singleton's 6th of the year. Hitting just 188. But 11 of his 22 hits have gone for extra bases. Irwin to the plate and misses outside, 2-0. Well, Phil Irwin falling behind now and running himself into a pretty tough spot with a guy like Singleton. The home run that Singleton hit last night was on a 3-1 pitch, where he could zero in on a fastball, and he got it and did not miss it. Altuve, Grossman, and Springer at third, second, and first. The 2-0 pitch. That fastball just above belt high, and Springer couldn't get, I should say Singleton couldn't catch up with it.
Got him in a fastball count, threw him a fastball, and still missed it. But the thing with a guy like Singleton is he can kind of lull you into a sense of false security by swings and misses, because all it takes is a little bit of contact, and 450 feet later, he's going around the bases.
Snap throw to third, and they got it.
Sure, there's a way to get him out.
Altuve trying to get down that line a little bit too far, and this Jimenez picked him clean.
Well, the Rangers failed to get an out on one they should have gotten, and they sneak one in right there. Boy, you talk about a pickoff at third base coming at the right time. This is the right time. Altuve just went to sleep.
Yep.
Took his eye off the catcher, and by the time he decided to go back to third base, he was a dead duck. He's a heads-up player, but he had a little bit of a lapse right there.
Inside, that gets by Jimenez all the way to the backstop. Grossman and Springer will advance 90 feet on the wild pitch. Well, that hurt. But thank goodness for this pickoff.
Watch Altuve. Altuve not even looking at the catcher.
No.
The only reason Altuve even went back to third base was because he saw Beltre break to a third base. Beltre played it perfectly. Beltre stayed at third and didn't break until Jimenez got ready to throw the ball. So by the time Altuve was alerted, it was too late.
And a base hit to right field. Grossman will score. Springer's being held at third. The throw comes all the way through. But Singleton, for the second straight night, drives in the first run. And that's a 1-0 Astro lead here in the first.
Batting fifth, the third base, number 30, Matt Dominguez.
Singleton driving in his 21st run of the year.
It looked like he got a curveball that stayed up, and he was able to put a swing on it and knock the ball into right field and drive in a run. He missed a couple of high fastballs, and the change of speed, I think, allowed him to have a comfortable swing at it, and then the location was in an area where he could handle it.
Well, now runners at the corners, 1 in and 1 out. Matt Dominguez, the third baseman, stands in. First pitch to him, high and tight. It pops out of the glove of Chris Jimenez. Singleton bluffed to move towards second. And we saw Singleton run last night on that double, and he's got fairly good speed for a big guy.
Yeah.
I don't know that he's ever going to be a big base stealing threat, but he's somebody you have to keep an eye on. At least not just forget about him. Jimenez going out in front of home plate to pass along the defensive assignments for the infield. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Dominguez at .239 with the average, 11 home runs, and he has driven home 38. Phil Irwin trying to keep this at a single run in this first inning. Ground ball into left field, a base hit. Springer will score. Moving to second is Singleton. And Dominguez with the RBI base hit makes it a 2-0 Houston lead.
Well, the Astros are swinging the bats, and you can't take anything away from them, but they're also finding some holes, too. Altuve's ball just eluded Odor. This ground ball right between short and third, and that's part of it. That's how you get base hits. You hit the ball where the fielders aren't. But so far in this series, they're doing a pretty good job of finding the holes, too. And pretty good job of making solid contact to go along with it.
Well, 3 hits in the inning and 2 runs across. First and second, still just 1 out. Chris Carter takes outside for ball 1. Carter, a 189 average with 15 home runs and 35 RBI. Rangers with Carter up there going to a shift around to the left side. High and tight, 2-0. Odor, the second baseman, on the shortstop side of the bag, and over in the hole, Elvis Andrus and Adrian Beltre. Just 3 steps off that line. Irwin, a couple of checks of the runners. The 2-0 pitch. That for Phil Irwin, the 30th pitch of this first inning. Chris Carter, of late, swinging the bat pretty well. A 4-game hitting streak. Seen him hit to a .313 clip. Saw the 2 home runs. One of those a grand slam. And Irwin able to get a call on the inside corner again. It's 2-2. Pretty good spot to pitch most big guys, big power hitters. And guys that have big long arms. See if you can keep the ball in on them, prevent them from getting their arms extended. But don't make a mistake in there. That one hit him. Fastball up and in, and Carter just stood there. Looked like he didn't even feel it. I know he felt it, but he acted like he was going to stay there and swing again. Now that'll reload the bases, the hit batter. And it'll bring up Carlos Corcoran. Him in left forearm.
Yeah, it didn't feel very good, but at the same time, didn't really take a whole lot of an effort to get out of the way of it either.
No. ball just tailed in on him. Didn't expect it to.
No, it just kind of came in. Had that kind of like a heat-seeking missile for his wrist. Hopefully he's okay. You don't want to see anybody get hit by a pitch. Hopefully Chris is okay. Smiling, so indicates he might be okay.
Now the base is loaded once again. Still just one out. Carlos Corporan, the switch hitter, goes after the first pitch. Hits a double play ball to Odor. To Andrews, back to Pena. A 4-6-3 double play will end the inning. And that's what Phil Irwin and the Rangers needed. The Astros score twice and strand 2. Bottom of the first coming up. Houston with 2. Now trailing 2-0 as they come to bat for the first time tonight. And we'll take a look at the Southwest Airlines Texas Rangers batting order. Shin-Soo Choo is leading off. He again is DHing tonight. Elvis Andrus, the shortstop, is next. Then it's the right fielder Alex Rios. Adrian Beltre bats cleanup. Leonis Martin in center hitting 5th. Chris Jimenez is behind the plate. Carlos Pena bats 7th and plays first. Jake Smolinski, his first start at the major league level, playing left field. And batting 9th, the second baseman, Rougned Odor.
And Brad Peacock will take the mound for the Astros, and we'll look at the Sonic scouting report for Brad. 16 games this year. Started the season in relief. Has had 12 starts since then. Overall, he's 2-5. Been a little bit wild. Almost 5 walks per 9 innings. That's the 3rd most in the American League. Had a career-high 11 strikeouts May 12th against the Rangers. He lost that game, but he pitched 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, and had 11 strikeouts. He's got a good arm, good solid fastball with a really good curveball. And he's one of those guys with potential, making some progress, getting a chance to pitch every day in the rotation. And, you know, he's got the kind of talent that you kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel with him as a pretty good big league starter.
And dealing to Shin-Soo Choo, and Choo takes a couple of pitches, 1 for a strike and 1 for a ball. Choo hitting at an even 250. Peacock drops that big hammer in there. It's 1-2. Peacock, a 26-year-old Floridian from the Palm Beach area. Came over from Oakland to Houston in the deal that also brought Chris Carter. That was in exchange for Jed Lowry.
Yeah, he's a guy, a good minor league prospect's been in 2 big trades.
And that pitch is low. It's 3-2.
Oh, hit the glove, hit the foot.
Pinball. So Choo trying to get aboard to start off this Ranger first. Elvis Andrus, the Rangers shortstop.
Now, when you look at it, that he went. Excuse me.
Up the middle, that's a base hit.
I need to wait just a second for Choo to get that hit for us before I talk.
Yeah.
But he came over for Oakland for Jed Lowry. So essentially, if you look at the way Oakland acquired him for Gio Gonzalez. For Gio Gonzalez, Oakland got Derek Norris, an all-star, Tommy Malone, a starting pitcher, and Jed Lowry, their starting shortstop, on the best team in baseball. So the A's did some good trading, and Peacock was involved in both trades. Well hit ball right there by Chu.
Well, like the Astros, the Rangers get their leadoff man aboard to start the first. And here's Elvis, a .270 hitter. And he takes the pitch low and outside for ball one. Elvis, a couple of home runs, had that big 3-run double last night. Increased his RBI total to 22. Elvis ended up going 2 for 5 in that ball game. Just 1 for 10 in his career against Brad Peacock, however. 1-0 pitch. Hit pretty well to center field. Springer going back. He has room out there, way in front of the track. Makes the catch. Chu back to first. That is out number 1. It will bring up Alex Rios.
Yeah, that was a solidly hit ball right there by Elvis, but fly balls to dead center are just not going to give Elvis a whole lot of success.
Let's take a look at the Houston defense tonight, brought to you by Progressive. Hernandez, Springer, and Grossman, left, center, and right. Singleton at first. Altuve and Gonzalez man the middle of the diamond. Matt Dominguez at third. Carlos Corporate is catcher. Brad Peacock on the hill. First pitch to Rios is ball one. Alex now at .305, 4 home runs, and 39 RBI. 9 at-bats in his career against Brad Peacock, 1 hit. Chu at first with 1 out. 1-1.
Peacock pitched part of the season in the minor leagues last year, part of the season with Houston. With Houston, he was 5-6 and a .518 ERA. 14 starts, 4 relief appearances. But if you go back into last year and look at his last 21 starts, the 12 that he's had this year and his last 9 from last year, and the numbers are pretty good. His ERA is .382 and the opponent's batting average is .235.
Peacock's 1-1 pitch. Alex tried to stop his swing, but ended up fouling it back, and it's 1-2. Rios in the last 7 ball games hitting better than .350. He is, for the last month now, been on a bit of a roller coaster. Went down for a while and then back up briefly, back down for a while, and now he's turned it around, as those numbers tell you, over the last week. Down to the count here, 1-2. Check your swing on that breaking ball, and the count is even. Peacock again sets. A check of Chu at first. And another fly ball. This one hits softly out to center field, and Springer in a few steps. That is out number 2, and it'll bring up Adrian Beltre.
And for the third baseman, number 29, Adrian Beltre.
Beltre bringing that 11-game hitting streak to the plate with him. .334, second in the American League to Jose Altuve. Hit his 12th home run last night, 48 RBI, and he has a couple of home runs against Peacock. 3 for 7 is Adrian Beltre in his career. One ball and no strikes.
Well, last night, Buzz, Alex Presley played center field, but he came out of the game. We saw him have a long at bat, kind of reach for his side. They put him on the disabled list, and that's why Robbie Grossman is here now. He played center field last night. Springer is playing center field in the game tonight. Last night, Springer switched over to center field after Presley had to leave the game. Made a great running catch out there.
1-1 to Beltre. Now 2-1.
Springer's been playing right field. He has the tools to play center field.
Yeah.
Got the speed, the arm, whatever you need to be a center fielder.
Impressive young man.
Dexter Fowler is their regular center fielder, and that's why Springer is playing right field. Dexter Fowler's on the disabled list as well. Fowler was playing pretty good baseball, batting in the top of the order, maybe second most of the time, getting on base, playing an excellent center field too.
Beltre a little bit out in front of that breaking pitch. 2-2 now. Yeah, and the Astros have gotten Fowler with the idea of really building around him, filling in around him with guys like Springer. And Bo Porter sorely missing Dexter Fowler's influence on the team. Call strike 3. Beltre a little bit surprised. Vic Carapazza making a delayed call, but Beltre is gone. So are the Rangers. No runs to hit. They strand one. After one, Astros leading 2-0. Where they stand. His first Ranger game. He probably doesn't believe the Rangers should be down 2-0. But they'll come back. Don't worry about it. It'll be okay. Phil Irwin set to go to work here in the top of the second inning. He will face Kike Hernandez to start things off. Hernandez, the number 8 hitter. It'll be Marwin Gonzalez, and back to the top of the order for Jose Altuve. Irwin had to use 33 pitches to extricate himself from the first inning. And the first pitch here is lined to left center field. Smolinski started in, now to backtrack just a little bit, and Jake puts it away, and on one pitch, Hernandez skies out, one gone for Marwin Gonzalez. And as Gonzalez comes to the plate, let's welcome in Jim Knox. Jim.
All right, appreciate it, Buzz. Community Corner tonight. Oh, first off, Tate wanted to get the Ranger fans going. Go ahead, Tate. There you go. All right, Community Corner tonight. Don't forget, we're at Texas Ranger fans. You can honor the latest and greatest Texas Ranger Hall of Famer. That is Tom Schieffer at the Texas Rangers Dr. Pepper Hall of Fame luncheon. That is August 22nd. To find out more, log on to texasrangers.com/Hall of Fame. Buzz, pretty good, Tate.
All right, Knoxy, thank you. Marwin Gonzalez, switch hitting shortstop, takes a knee-high strike. It is 0-1. Gonzalez batting .275, 4 home runs, and 10 driven in. Gonzalez had a big 3-run triple last night. Got the 6-run second inning capped off for the Astros. Phil Irwin, though, out in front of the count here. No balls, 2 strikes. And that's out of play to the left. He'll try it again.
Well, Phil got the double play to get out of the first inning. Boy, was that a welcome sight to get out of that inning. Had the bases loaded. And then a quick 1 pitch out for Hernandez. And hopefully they make Gonzalez a quick out right here. Good curveball, just barely got a piece of it. And in the scouting report that we had for Phil Irwin, that's pretty much what it said, that he does have a very good curveball, and you could see it right there. Singleton hit a curveball for an RBI single, but that was a ball that was up. Didn't get it down where he wanted it to be.
Another 0-2 pitch is coming. Another chop foul. Now Phil Irwin, along with that good curveball, throws a cutter and an occasional changeup. Not one of his, not a main part of his repertoire, but he does have those 2 other pitches. And he's upstairs, 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Gonzalez. Back to the plate. And a drive pulled down the right side. Long run over for Alex Rios, but he's able to make up a lot of ground quickly and hauls it in. 2 gone. Fortunately, that ball looked like it was hit off the end of the bat a little bit and kind of hung up there.
Yeah, coming off the bat, it looked like, that ball might be in the corner, but then the fact that it hung up like it did and allowed Alex to run underneath it, kind of an indication that it really wasn't hit on the good part of the bat. Alex has good range out in right field with his speed.
2 up, 2 away. Here's Altuve, who singled to start things off. There's that big curveball in for strike 1. Altuve wrapped one right back up the middle. Gave him his 125th hit of the year. That's the most in the major leagues, and that 340 average leading everybody. Chops that next pitch foul. It's no balls and 2 strikes.
And that was the changeup you're talking about, Buzz. Might not have been the exact location that Phil wanted, but Altuve was still out in front of it, pulled it foul for a strike. So he had in the count no balls and 2 strikes.
Check swing on the curveball. 1 and 2. You saw the list of Astros prior to the All-Star break. Number of hits, and last night Altuve able to surpass Bob Watson's total with 123. That was in 1973. Berkman and Miguel Tejada also on that list. Pitch in tight to him. The count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. '27-year-old Phil Irwin, excuse me. Back to the plate and a drive off the glove of Beltre and into left field. That drive might have fooled Adrian just a little bit. Might not have been hit quite as sharply as he thought it was, and reached out there. The ball hadn't gotten there yet. It just ticked off the end of his glove.
He kind of looked back toward the stands like maybe it went through some white shirts. No, actually couldn't quite reach it. Right off the tip of his glove.
Well, Altuve with his 2nd hit of the night. He is 2 for 2. Very much a stolen base threat at first, and Irwin will go to work on it.
Talked about Altuve in last night's game, had 4 straight games where he had at least 2 stolen bases. He's definitely going to be going here.
Yeah. 2 outs.
He might be going here whether he gets a good jump or not.
Now, team stolen bases, our Ford leaderboard looks like this. The Astros leading the American League by 5 over Kansas City. Rangers back at 60 now. They have fallen off the pace, 16 behind Houston.
Well, you got a pretty good head start of being in the top 2 or 3 teams in stolen bases when you've got the league leader with 40 stolen bases. Altuve. No one else on the team has more than 6. Fowler has 6. They got a lot of guys with 4, 5, and 6, but they don't even have anybody else with double digits.
1 ball, no strikes. The count to Grossman. Another toss over there. Well, Phil Irwin making sure that Altuve doesn't have a free pass this time. Grossman having a great year at AAA, 337. This is his 3rd stint with the Astros. He started the year on the opening day roster of the Astros, was sent out, came back up briefly, sent back out again. Matter of fact, he's in the midst of an 18-game hit streak at AAA. Now time called. Grossman looking down at third base coach Pat Listash. See what Bo Porter might have in mind here with 2 outs and a 1-0 count. Altuve, a modest lead at first this time. And the pitch high and away. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Well, Phil Irwin wouldn't be the first pitcher to, with a base stealer at first, have his concentration divided a bit.
Yep.
That's always a danger when you have a guy that runs well at first. If you're a pitcher, you can't allow that to happen, though. You've got to make up your mind that you're either going to make a quality pitch or keep the guy close at first. Grossman hits 1 to center. Plenty of room out there, though, for Leonis Martin. Into the glove for the 3rd out. No runs, a hit, 1 left. After 1.5, the Astros 2, and the Rangers nothing with Martin, Jimenez, and Pena. To tweet your photo for a chance to have it shown on one of our upcoming broadcasts. That's thanks to the good folks at AT&T. Use hashtag Southwest Fan Photo, and your photo might be selected to be aired during one of our upcoming broadcasts. On to the 2nd inning. Leonis Martin starting off against Brad Peacock, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that hangs high for ball 1. Leonis at 270 with the average, 4 home runs, 25 driven in. This pitch to him is low. And he's in front of the count now, 2-0. Leonis trying to get aboard to start this Rangers 2nd. Peacock's next pitch. 3 balls and no strikes. Well, Leonis gets aboard to start the Ranger comeback here in the 2nd inning. Chris Jimenez is waiting in the on-deck circle. And at the knees on the outer part of the plate, 3-1. Peacock to the wide. And a high fly ball well hit to right field. Grossman is back at the wall. Goodbye. Leonis Martin with his 5th home run of the year. It's now a 2-1 to Houston lead.
That might be a nice development if Leonis starts to show a little bit of power. He's moved up in the batting order and down at the bottom to 5th in the lineup. Or he's moved down, I guess. Sometimes he's moved down to the lineup. And now he's batting 5th. More of a power spot in the lineup. He hit a home run the other day in New York. He gets a fastball middle of the plate and launches this one today. So that's a good sign. He definitely has the tools and the power to hit an occasional home run. It's nice to see that. The Rangers on the board.
The high fly ball. I thought it had a chance to get into that in the upper tank out there.
Looked like it for just a second.
Jimenez takes outside. Chris now with a count of 1 ball and 1 strike. Look at the concentration, the widening of the eyes as he made contact. It's a swing and a miss by Jimenez. A ball and 2 strikes now. The Rangers had gotten out of the next to the last place in the American League as far as team home runs. They're now up to 67. They came in 12th in the American League. Still down toward the bottom, but improving. That's the important part of that statement. Blowing outside, 2-2. Also starting to hit the ball better at home. They've been really in the doldrums offensively here at home, but the last 17 home games they've hit .265. And Jimenez, swing and a miss. He has gone on strikes as Peacock gets his 2nd strikeout.
Good fastball. Located right where he wanted it. 92 miles an hour, down and away. He got the swing and a miss, got the strikeout for the first out of the 2nd inning.
Well, here's Carlos Pena now, the veteran first baseman.
Peacock averages somewhere around 8 strikeouts per 9 innings. We already mentioned that the other side of it,
There's a drive well to right field, going toward the bullpen. Grossman back at the wall. Takes the catch. Right at the 377 marker. And Robbie Grossman able to haul it in.
Well, I thought he got all of that ball. I thought it was going to be definitely enough to get in the Ranger bullpen. Needed about another 2 feet and it would have gotten into the Ranger bullpen. And it's another ball that Carlos takes a good swing at. Hit that ball. Looked like he hit it on the good part of the bat too. But he's hit some balls pretty well. He's had a lot of those balls caught in the outfield. Just missed that one. And see where he caught that ball. If it's a foot longer or 2 feet to the left,
yeah,
it would have come straight down into the Ranger bullpen.
2 outs. And here's Jake Smolinski. Yeah, the 377 marker is just over there to the left side of your screen. Brad Peacock's the move.
I think he was thinking the same thing.
Smolinski, a rip and a miss. It was 1 ball and 1 strike.
We're talking about Peacock averages somewhere around 8 strikeouts per 9 innings. He also averages over 4 walks per 9 innings. He's walked 42 batters in 78 innings coming into the game.
Called strike. It's 1-2. Smolinski made his major league debut last night. Those are the numbers at AAA and at AA. He spent most of the year this year at AA Frisco. Hit .267, hit .267 at Round Rock in the week that he was there. Fouls off that next pitch. And he stays alive at a ball and 2 strikes. And looking back over his career in the minor leagues, that's pretty close to what his career average is. .263 coming into this year. In the minor league production that he's had with the Nationals and also with Miami in the minor leagues. Just missed low and outside. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Smolinski, with his work at Double-A Frisco, was honored by being the Texas League All-Star selection. Called strike. That's a foul tip. And into the glove of Carlos Corcoran. So a strikeout. Rangers are gone in the second, but Leonis Martin gets him on the board with his leadoff home run, the 5th of the year, into the lower home run court. We'll go to the third inning. Now the Astros 2 and the Rangers 1. MLB.com at bat for your favorite mobile phone or tablet and get live look-ins, instant replay, scores, stats, audio, free MLB.tv game of the day, and a whole lot more. Download at the App Store, or you can visit TexasRangers.com today. Top of the third inning, the Astros leading the Rangers now 2-1, and George Springer starting things off against Phil Irwin. Irwin deals a strike. It is 1-1. Springer drew a walk and scored in the first inning. Astros 2 runs on 4 hits. Rangers 1 run on 2 hits. 2-1 now. Springer has already set Astros franchise records for most rookie home runs and rookie RBI prior to the All-Star game, 17 and 46. He hammers this one to center field. Going back is Martin. He is looking up. That ball is up on Greens Hill and way out of here. George Springer with his 18th home run of the year, and the lead is back up to 2. It is 3-1 Houston.
Well, that's the power that we've been talking about. That ball went almost to the top of the hill. The ball went so high and far, I actually lost it halfway. Couldn't pick it up until it hit. You could tell by the way Leonis went back on it that it wasn't going to come back, though. Fastball down and in, actually off the plate. Well, that's some kind of swing to hit that pitch to dead center field that far. The pitch wasn't even a strike.
The Astros get that run back that the Rangers got on Leonis Martin's home run. Springer, that powerful swing, he really uncoils.
that guy ran right by it, boy. I think it fooled him. He must have lost it too.
Singleton, a towering foul pop-up. Back is Jimenez battling the wind, and Chris Jimenez able to make the catch for out number 1. Job by Jimenez to stay with this.
Watch this guy.
Yeah.
You got to come running. He's not even looking at the ball. That ball could have hit him right in the head. Fortunately, that didn't happen. I think he misjudged it.
Yeah.
Whoops. He heard it hit, though. Couldn't put on the brakes in time. Got his pocket picked on that one.
Well, one out. Here's Matt Dominguez. You got to be careful what you say about the fans now after what happened in New York.
That's true.
I think you probably get sued on that one for disparaging about his fielding ability.
About his fielding ability?
Yeah.
Just being good-natured about it. Actually, I said I'm glad it didn't hit him in the head. I'm actually on his side.
Think about how that's going to come out in court. Now, with 2 outs now, before Chris Carter comes up, let's take time for a Mazda game break with Dana Larson. All right, Dana, thank you.
But you know, the way I look at commenting on certain things like that, you're in a public place. You want to jump out of your seat and go into the grass to try to catch a ball. You're kind of begging to be analyzed, aren't you?
I think so.
We analyze the players.
Yeah, and people that throw the first pitch, we get on them a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, if Martin went after a fly ball like that and he missed it by that much, I would have said it's a good thing it didn't hit Leonis in the head. So you got to be ready to be. You got to be able to take a little critique every now and then.
Matter of fact, his teammates might have said that to Leonis.
Well, it's all good nature.
End up with a batting helmet in his locker next to his glove. So here, wear this out there. Don't want you to get hurt. Who was that? Dick Allen used to wear a batting helmet. You wouldn't get hit on the head with a pop-up.
I remember him wearing a batting helmet. Yeah. I didn't know that's the reason why, though.
That's what he said at one point.
Well, I wouldn't argue with him.
No, I believe him 100%. 2-2 the count to Chris Carter. Carter hit by a pitch his first time up. Phil Irwin tried to get him off the plate a bit and popped him on the wrist. Now the 2-2. Call strike 3.
Oh boy, Phil.
Pause and thought about it for a second. And Carter going to have a little chat with the home plate umpire. George Springer's leadoff home run gets a run back for the Astros to go to the bottom of the third. 3-1 Houston. On Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. And by the all-new Mazda 3 with seamless connectivity. Globe Life Park, great spot for family outings this time of year. All summer long. See some Rangers and Astros baseball going on this evening, and the Astros with a 3-1 lead. Rangers come to bat here in the bottom of the third inning. Rougned Odor, the number 9 hitter, to lead off against Brad Peacock. And the first pitch is low and outside. It's ball 1. Odor with the average of 262, 3 home runs, 17 driven in. Now 2-0. Rougned ran into a little bit of a problem those last 17 games that you're looking at. Just a 173 average for the young second sacker. Takes that pitch for a strike, but still go back over his last month of play or so, 37 games. He's at 281. 2-1 pitch from Peacock. Up the middle. The dive and coming up empty is Gonzalez. And Odor aboard with a leadoff single. The Rangers leadoff man every inning now has been on base. Single by Chu in the first, a home run by Martin in the second, and now Odor with that base hit.
They couldn't move Chu around in the first inning. Hopefully with Chu coming up the top of the order, they'll be able to move Rougned around. High fastball, takes a nice swing at it. They've got a little bit of a shift on in the infield. Couldn't stop Rougned from rolling the ball through it though.
Here's Chu, who had a solid single to center to begin things tonight. There goes Odor, and the hit and run was on. The pitch chopped foul at home plate.
But pretty early in someone's career to put that kind of a shift on, I would think. But
yeah,
they must have enough data that they feel comfortable doing that. Well, how many ground balls in a little over 100 at bats he could have hit?
The way things are today, may go back to his Little League days. I don't know. 0-1 the count to Chu. Peacock, a long look. And Chu, a swing and a miss. Off-speed pitch that stayed up. Chu couldn't make contact. Nothing in 2. And Chu with the average of 252 after that first inning single. Odor, a leadoff hit here in the third, is at first. Expanded his lead by maybe half a step this time. Double play ground ball. Altuve back to first in time to get Chu. The Rangers have grounded into 87 double plays now. That is the most in Major League Baseball. And the bases are empty here in the third for Elvis Andrus.
Well, Gonzalez is shading way up the middle on this ground ball, and Chu hits it right to him. Altuve's shading over a little bit toward first and had a long way to go to get to second, but watch how quickly he gets rid of the ball. That ball doesn't stay in his glove very long, and even though Odor is right on top of him, no hard feelings, still able to turn the double play.
Now here's Elvis. The first pitch is off the plate outside for ball 1. Elvis flied to medium deep center field his first time up there. Ball 2 is upstairs. Elvis last night 2 for 5, had a double and drove in the 3 runs. Peacock back to the plate. Now 3-0. Well, Elvis trying to extend this Ranger third inning. He gets aboard. Alex Rios will follow. Peacock fires a strike to make it 3-1. The wind and the pitch up the middle, right off the mound and into center field. Peacock had to get real skinny real fast to avoid that one.
That's the second hard hit ball Elvis has hit straight up the middle. The first time he hit a high fly ball fairly deep to center field, and there's not much success that's going to be had by Elvis on high fly balls to center. That's the way to do it. Hit it on a line, on a ground, solidly. Just barely missed the pitcher, Peacock.
You know, almost take his left foot into center field with you.
That's the way to hit it if you're Elvis. Keep the ball on the line, keep the ball on the ground.
Now here's Rios. 0-1 the count. Alex a fly ball to center. 3:04 the average. Just the third inning, so you might see Elvis take off if Alex gets to a 2-strike situation. It's way outside, and the count evens at a ball and a strike. Rios, a 4-game hitting streak coming into play tonight. He's gone 7 for 19 in those 4 games. Now 1-2. Peacock tonight has struck out 3. He has not walked a hitter, which kind of going against what his normal problems are. Not really a low walk guy, let's put it that way. But tonight, none so far. Big breaking ball, and it throws Alex Rios at home. Well, that'll do it for strikeout. Rangers get a couple of hits, but strand a runner in the third. After 3 complete, the Astros 3 and the Rangers 1. Baseball All-Star Game as the best in the National League take on the American League's elite. Don't miss all the action coming up Tuesday, July 15th at 7 p.m. on Fox. We get the final votes still going on. Both the National and American League. 5 candidates in each league for that final roster spot. Carlos Corporan leads off the Astro 4th inning and takes a big breaking ball from Phil Irwin for strike 1. Corporan grounded into an inning-ending double play in the 1st inning. And chops one to the left side by the dive of Beltre, but Andrews Elvis throws the first. Elvis giving Adrian a little bit of a hard time. So what are you doing? No, one out. Let's head over and say hello to Jim Knox again. Jim.
I appreciate it, Buzz. Good news for you and Tom. A new food item here at Globe Life Park. That's right. And George is here to talk about this. That was unveiled yesterday.
That's right, Jim. What we've got here is the Tanaco. It's a 2-foot-long taco. It's kind of got all the flavors of a taco. You've got the nachos. You got chicken. You've got beef. You've got white queso. All your lettuce, topinco, jalapeno, sour cream, some shredded cheese designed to be shared. Right here behind home plate.
Shared it is, yes. Well, how about a family of 4 here? Mike and his Armstrong family in, and you guys have at it. Enjoy. Good to have you here at Globe Life Park. There you go, the new item, Buzz, Tanaco.
Tanaco.
Dig in.
I like that. Wow.
That's a masterpiece.
That certainly is. How long do you think that'll last on our production process?
I think they could polish that off pretty easy.
What the over-under be, about a minute and a half?
No, a little longer than that, because the logistics of getting the fork into it might take a while.
Little cue shot by Hernandez out to second. Odor throws him out very quickly.
There's a few guys down in the truck, though, that wouldn't use a fork. They would just pick it up with their hands and eat it.
Yeah.
Like a regular taco. Must be pretty good. Look at the kids chowing down on it. That looks great. Have to come back and get their critique of it. Get Noxie back on a scale of 1 to 10 what they think of that.
I don't see anybody giving the stuff back.
No, I don't either. I don't either.
Well, 2 outs very quickly here in the fourth, and Phil Irwin settling down nicely. He's retired the last 5 since the Springer home run leading off the third. Marwin Gonzalez, a fly ball to right, his first time up there. The first pitch is outside, ball 1, back to Jim Knox.
Mike, rank this item between 1 and 10. What do you think, guys, huh?
I'm giving this a 10. This is
10.
It's awesome.
All right.
It's almost gone. Good job.
You don't hear that very often, right out of the chute.
Well, I can tell by the way the kids are eating. It's got to be good.
Irwin to the wide, the 1-1 pitch. And that's out of play to the left. A ball and 2 strikes. Well, Phil Irwin, remember, he had 33 pitches in the first inning. And since then, the next 3 innings, or almost 3 innings, he had 36.
Well, he got exactly what you hoped for. Right at the right time, a double play. Was able to get out of the inning and only 2 runs, with only 2 runs scoring.
Solid base hit to right center by Gonzalez. Over to cut it off, Alex Rios. He will hold Gonzalez to a long single.
And then what you hope after that is that he can settle down a little bit. And it seems like he's done it. He can get an out here in the 4th inning. He would have given up just a home run in the last 3 innings.
Oh, 6 hits now by the Astros.
That was a pretty good pitch to hit.
That's a little cutter that didn't quite get in far enough. Well, here's Altuve for his 3rd at bat. He has singled each of the first 2 times up. Now hitting at .341. First pitch is high. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Altuve back just about a month ago, the 12th of June. He said better than 410. Toss to first, drive Gonzalez back. He's got quite a stolen base streak going too. He's now stolen 27 consecutive stolen bases. 1-0 pitch. Snapped through at first, but Gonzalez able to get back ahead of the tag by Pena. Well, how about 3 things you really need to know about Jose Altuve, the only player in the Astros history with 40 doubles or more and 40 stolen bases in the first 200 games. That's impressive in itself. First major league home run was inside the park round triplet. It was back in 2011 against the Giants, and the first player since 1917 to have multiple steals in 4 straight games.
I would have thought that last one would say other than Ricky Henderson. But even Ricky Henderson didn't do that.
Yeah. 3-1 now to Altuve.
But I guess when you think about it, in 4 straight games, not only do you have to steal the bases, well, before you can steal the bases, you have to get on base twice in all 4 games. So that's a decent accomplishment in itself. Then you have to get on base with no one ahead of you so that you can steal the base.
Altuve pops it up. This one will stay in play. Beltre drifting into foul territory, puts it away, and that'll do it. Now the Astros get a hit, but they strand just 1. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Tanaka is gone. The Astros are leading the Rangers. To watch Chevy Hometown Kids every Saturday morning. It's on at 10 o'clock right here on Fox Sports Southwest, where it's not about the score, it's about the experience. The kids having a pretty good experience out here. The Tanaka aside. 3-1, Astros leading the Rangers. Adrian Beltre starts the Ranger 4th inning, and he takes ball 1 from Brad Peacock. Beltre called out on strikes to end the Ranger first. Off speed, and that catches the inner corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Peacock back to the plate. 2-1 now. Beltre, the 11-game hitting streak coming into play tonight. Last 18 home games. How about Beltre hitting over 500?
Wow.
And that ball is pounded deep to right center field in the alley and off the top of the wall. Springer brought it back into the ballpark. Beltre around second is going to third, and he is in with a triple.
That was almost a highlight catch for the season right there by Springer. Look, he had to go around the corner to catch that ball. Another ball that looked like it was going to go into the bullpen. And we'll have to get a replay of it, but it sure looked like it got Springer's glove first. Wash is going to go out and check with the umpire out at second base. Let's take a look. Remember, that 377 juts out just a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he brought it back.
Right in the palm of his glove, right at the top of the wall. A good shot of it there. Oh, hit the top of the wall, didn't it?
Hit the top of the wall, then hit his glove. But it definitely came back, right?
Yep, sure did.
Boy, that was an optical illusion. I would have bet. I was certain that ball hit his glove first.
Yeah.
Actually hit the wall first.
Well, it is a triple. Oh, Beltre getting the 3-bagger to start things off, and that's his first triple since September of 2012 at Kansas City.
Well, it's amazing what that kind of camera work and the slow motion replay will do for you.
Yeah, isn't that
takes the guesswork out of it. And just another example of what looks like it's certain to your eye, watching it as it happens. And then you get this unbelievable replay in slow motion, and you see exactly what happened.
Boy, that is good stuff.
Wow. And it's not, this looks like it hit his glove.
Yep.
Sure even does. Now, I thought that ball hit his glove. Yep. Knowing what happened, I still thought it hit his glove. That's great. What camera work?
You know, and after you see something like that, it takes the trepidation you had about replay coming into use, kind of out of it.
Yeah.
That kind of technology and that kind of ability of the great production crews, especially the ones we have here.
Well, they say your eyes can play tricks on you, and there's a good example of it.
Well, Beltre at third now, nobody out. Leonis Martin, who homered to right his first time up. Ahead the count here, 2-1. Leonis has not had this be a strong part of his offensive game yet, getting that runner home from third with less than 2 out. To center field, looks like he's probably going to get it done here. Springer trying to get himself in position. Beltre tagging. He's coming home. The throw is way off line. And Adrian able to stand at home plate with the run. So Leonis Martin gets the job done. The sacrifice fly plates Beltre. And that draws the Rangers 1 run closer. It's now 3-2 Houston.
That's what you want to see for your number 5 hitters. Produce some runs. A home run, and then with a man on third base, he did what you're supposed to do. Get the ball up in the air, get that run in. Of course, the infield was back, so a ground ball up the middle would have done the same thing, but can't go wrong with a 300-foot fly ball in that situation.
Nope. Sure can't. There's Chris Jimenez, who went down swinging the first time, and he swings through a peacock offering there. No balls and a strike. Chris has tailed off a bit. Neftali Feliz loosening in that Ranger bullpen. Rangers showing the willingness to come back and the ability to come back in this ball game. And good job by Phil Irwin so far to keep the game close enough to make those comebacks meaningful. Like Ron Washington supporting him by having Feliz get up if necessary and be ready to come in.
And Neffy's pitched every other day since he's been here. I think he pitched one day, had a day off, pitched again, had yesterday off, and warming up today. There's a happy little guy.
Yeah. The 1-2 pitch. Just getting a piece of it. Jimenez stays alive. Chris in his last 11 ball games hitting just 156. Remember, he started off like a house of fire. He got on base 12 of the first 13 games that he played with the Rangers. Hit safely in 10 of them. He's fallen on a little bit of a downturn offensively. Checks his swing. The pitch is outside. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Peacock into the wind. Jimenez reaching down to spoil a pitch down and away. Jimenez originally the property of the Cleveland Indians, who selected him in the 2004 draft. Went to University of Nevada at Reno. Little cue shot down to first. Singleton has to play back and up onto Peacock just in time to get Jimenez. Jimenez hustling down that line, and Singleton almost played that into a base hit.
I think he was a little bit worried about the spin on that ball. Like Chris hit it off the end of the bat, not hard. Sometimes it can still be tricky the way that's spinning. It looked like the ball was spinning left to right on Singleton, and he just, you can see it spinning. He just wants to make sure he catches it.
That's one of those ones that can run up your arm if you're not careful. So 2 outs, bases empty. Here's Carlos Pena, who flied out deep to right field. Matter of fact, right to the 377 marker. His first time up. Carlos now at 163 with the average. You mentioned he's been sticking the ball pretty well last few ball games. It's that off-speed pitch in to even the count. Pena 4 for his last 8 with a couple of RBI, or a couple of doubles. Modest 3-game hitting streak coming into play tonight. 1-1 pitch. Now 2-1. Peacock seemingly hasn't been in trouble much, but he's thrown a lot of pitches.
Yeah,
he's up to 70. This next pitch will be his 70th. Pena shoots one to the right side. Altuve, the second baseman, has it on the Peacock covering in time. Nice play by Altuve and Peacock. Rangers are gone in the 4th inning, but Adrian Beltre with a triple off the very top of the wall in right center field came in to score. So we'll go to the 5th inning. It's now the Astros 3 and the Rangers 2. Would like to show you tomorrow night's pitching matchup, and it looks like it's going to be a dandy. An all-star Yu Darvish and Dallas Keuchel, who's on the final vote ballot for the American League to make that all-star team in his last spot on the roster. 7 o'clock, Fox Sports Southwest. A great pitching matchup for you here in the finale of this Astro-Ranger series. But first things first, Rangers coming back in this game. They trailed just 3-2, and Jeff Irwin back out, or Phil Irwin back out to work the 5th inning. Jeff Irwin, our photographer, I'm gonna have to send him a bill for all this free pub I'm giving him.
I used to do that last year, all the time. Joe Nathan, called him Joe Namath about 20 times. Once you do it, you can't stop doing it, boy.
I know it. For you folks who are just joining us, Mark McLemore, by the way, is the 3rd member of our group, as always. Mark, of course, the co-host of Rangers Live, the pre- and post-game shows. It is Mark, isn't it?
It is.
Okay.
Most of the time.
Most of the time? Yeah. Robbie Grossman leading off for the Astros, ahead of the count now, 3-1. Phil Irwin on the mound has walked 1 tonight. That was back in the 1st inning. Since then, he has gotten things together pretty well. And Grossman fouls it off to the left to fill the count. Mac, what have your impressions been of Phil Irwin tonight in the first 4?
You know, I like what I've seen so far. That first inning, I think it was probably some nerves going on. You know, the curveball didn't have a whole lot of break to it and left some pitches out over the middle of the plate. But since then, he's pretty much settled down. You know, I like the fact he's gone inside on some guys a couple of times. And, even hit a batter, which, you know, in my mind isn't always a bad thing.
Yeah.
So I like what I've seen so far.
Certainly enough stuff to get the job done. Like for most guys, it comes down to how well he commands for him, the breaking ball, I think, is the big pitch. If you throw that in the strike zone for a called strike, he's going to have some pretty good success. He loses Grossman on a 3-2 pitch here, a leadoff walk, and that's never a good thing. It's going to bring Ron Washington out of the Rangers dugout. You saw he had Nephi Feliz warming up out there in the bullpen just in case, and with the pitch count just sneaking over that 80 pitch level. Ron Washington making the slow walk out to the mound, takes the ball from Phil Irwin, and a credible job for the 27-year-old right-hander. He'll be replaced by Neftali Feliz. We'll tell you all about the hard-throwing Nephi Feliz when we come back. 3-2, the Astros leading the Rangers here in the 5th inning on Fox Sports Southwest. AAC or wherever a sporting event might be. That is Jeff Irwin. He's the one I've been talking about all night. He's our photographer at Fox Sports Southwest. Instead of Phil Irwin, who was in the ballgame, I've been calling Jeff. So Jeff's going to get a bill from me for all the publicity they got here tonight, all the mentions. See what the rate card on names is for. There's his shot, too, by the way, from where he is right now. He'll move around with that RF camera and give you different looks at the ballpark. Beautiful scenic shots from all over Globe Life Park. Neftali Feliz is on now his 3rd appearance since being called back up from AAA Round Rock.
Yeah, and Neffy's been throwing the ball well. He's mixed in his off-speed pitches, but basically each time he's pitched, he's established his fastball.
He gets a weak roller out to short. The slide just out at second is Robbie Grossman. Grossman with very good speed, able to make that force play very close. Elvis and Rougned Odor able to team up to get the force, get the lead runner. And now Springer at first with 1 out. We talk about the shift a lot, and for the right-hander, you see Odor moving over basically on the shortstop side of second.
Well, if he was safe at second, he would have been out by sliding past the bag. All he would have had to do is tag him.
So 1 on, 1 out now. And John Singleton, the big first baseman up there. Singleton 1 for 2 tonight, an RBI single.
Heck, that's one of those plays at second where if you know who's running, Springer, you're really not trying to break up the double play. You just want to get there as quickly as you can. So oversliding bag really not in the cards on that one, is it?
No, it's not. I mean, he actually would have been safe if he had gone in feet first.
That's what it looked
and
like.
Made the play. You know, the ball's not hit very hard. The shortstop's coming in. They're not going to try to attempt a double play. So you've got to get to second base for your teammate and get him the hit.
Right.
I mean, you see this. You see his feet where his feet are going to be.
Yeah, he's thinking break up the double play, but there's Springer's one of the fastest guys on the field.
You've got to be thinking, let me beat this ball out, because there's no way they're going to try or even attempt to turn a double play.
No.
0-1, the count to Singleton. The pitch fouled away to the left, so very quickly. Feliz on top of the count, no balls, 2 strikes. Healthy Phillies trying to make it all the way back from Tommy John surgery that he had in August of 2012. He was hoping to be the Ranger closer going into spring training, and it just didn't work out. He was not as close as the Rangers felt he had to be to help them. Started the year at AAA and had some ups and downs. Worked himself back to where the last 2 weeks at AAA was doing everything that he needed to do to pitch at the major league level. The 26-year-old down to the Dominican Republic. Comes set. And the 1-2. Took something off. Like a straight changeup from Phillies. Singleton had no chance to swing the bat on that one. He was frozen. Ugh.
It's a nice pitch. I like that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's something that he wasn't throwing before. If he did, it would usually bounce. But that's a very nice spot to hit down and away. There's not anything anybody can do with that.
Now 2-2. Got him swinging. Pretty good combination. A changeup blowing outside and the fastball up right about letter high on the inside part of the plate. 0-2 gone. We were talking about shifts, and go back to Carlos Pena's at bat in the last half of the inning. And watch what Pena has to do here. He ground ball to the right side. Peacock has to get over to cover first and take a throw from 50 or 60 feet from Jose Altuve. Mac, how tough a play is that for a second baseman?
It's a very difficult play because you're trying to, most second basemen would think that they're trying to hit a moving target, but you're not. You do exactly what Altuve did. You lead that pitcher right to the bag. You throw the ball to the bag, and he's supposed to get there and stop. So if you're trying to, think you're a quarterback and you're trying to lead a guy, that's not how you do it. You throw it to the bag, and hopefully that pitcher gets there in time. And Altuve put a little loft on it, and he was able to do that with the runner Pena, who's not very fast. And, he made it look very easy, but it's not an easy play.
Yeah, and with all the shifts we see, you find some odd plays like that, the odd positioning. The shortstop's way over. Sometimes he's making a short, off-balance throw across or going away from first base, which is not a normal move for a shortstop. So a lot of different things come into play this game.
Yeah, it can be difficult, especially when you move a guy from one side to the other side.
That ball's lined to deep left field. Smolinski going back, and he's able to track it down. Smolinski able to catch up with it. And the fifth inning comes to a close as Nick Feliz does the job. No runs, no hits, one left. Halfway through the game, the Astros leading 3-2. Getting set to cheer for a comeback here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Check the grip that young man had on that ball. There it is. That's his straight changeup right there. He's got all 4 fingers on it. Take the speed off and just throw that thing like a fastball. Let it pop out of your hand. It'll be about 15 miles an hour slower. He's got it already. Jake Smolinski leading things off. Smolinski, the number 8 hitter, followed by Rougned Odor and Shin-Soo Choo. Jakes went down swinging his first time up. That was back in the 2nd inning. Jake off to an 0 for 3 start in his young major league career. Big breaking ball from Peacock that hangs inside. A ball and a strike. And outside and low, it's 2-1. Smolinski at the start of this year had a grand total of 95 games above AA level. So not an awful lot of advanced experience. But he made it through the top 2 runs of the Ranger organization pretty quickly. Started at AA and the Texas League All-Star, and then came to the big leagues after 7 games at AAA.
As you mentioned, that Peacock hasn't walked anybody today. It feels like he has.
Yeah. 75 pitches now and 43 strikes, 32 balls. So he's had a lot of opportunities to walk guys with that kind of ball strike ratio. Payoff pitch on the way. Call strike 3.
He's made the pitches when he needed to make them.
And that is strikeout number 5 for Peacock. 2nd time that he's gotten Smolinski. There's a beautiful shot from the home plate entrance right behind home plate. Out to the northwest. Shannon Stone statue there as you enter Globe Life Park. Beautiful sunset. Well, 1 gone. Here's Rougned Odor, who had a base hit to center. Leading off the Ranger 3rd. Takes a knee-high strike. .267 the average for Odor. That pitch just missed. See an improvement still in Mac in Odor?
I do. I think the more he plays, the more comfortable he's getting. You know, I think right now what he's going through, this is his time to adjust. You know, he's going around the league the 2nd time, starting to see teams that have seen him the 1st time, and they're making their adjustments, and now he's got to make his offensively. But defensively, he's just getting more and more comfortable out there. And not that he wasn't comfortable from the beginning, but you can just see the confidence that he has defensively now and still offensively as well.
How tough is that, the initial adjustment that a hitter has to make after the opposition has started making adjustments to you? I mean, I assume it's different than adjusting within yourself to begin a major league career.
Yeah, it is a difficult adjustment, especially because typically what happens that first time they see you, they're going to give you fastballs. Whether they're inside or outside, they're going to give you fastballs. And if you hit those, the next time around, they're going to start giving you breaking pitches. And a breaking pitch is most hitters' weakness at any level.
Yeah.
And that's the toughest adjustment, being able to recognize what that off-speed pitch is and seeing if you can do something with it.
Dominguez, a very strong off-balance throw across the diamond to get a speedy Rougned Odor. Nice play by Matt Dominguez. Now 2 outs before Shin-Soo Choo steps in. Let's take time for a Mazda game break with Dana Larson. All right, Dana, thank you. Well, here the Rangers still trailing the Astros 3-2. Shin-Soo Choo is after the first pitch, and it's a towering fly ball to center. Springer's backing up. He is on the warning track. He has just enough room to make the catch for the final out. Rangers go in order. Matt, thanks for joining us. We will look for you after the ball game on Rangers Live.
See you guys.
All right. 3-2, the Astros leading after 5. Texas Rangers baseball on Fox Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. It's the Ford Summer Spectacular Sales Event, now playing in a Ford dealer near you. Nice crowd on hand at Globe Life Park tonight. We have seen an entirely different ball game than was witnessed here last night. Last night it was a 12-7 slugfest. The Astros able to down the Rangers. Tonight, a 3-2 ball game as we head to the 6th. And Vitaly Feliz back to the hill, working to Chris Carter. Twilight has just about turned into full overhead dark. Swinging strike from Carter.
Well, the strikeout last inning by Neffy was on a fastball, swing and a miss. Carter with a swing and a miss right there. And the one thing we've seen in the 3 outings that Neffy has had, lots of swings and misses at his fastball.
That ball didn't get missed. It's deep to left field and way out of here. Well, Carter got a fastball up, and it was not quite far enough in, and he launched it off the wall right in front of the Jack Daniels Club. For Carter, home run number 16 this year, and that makes it a 4-2 Houston lead.
Well, Carter's one of those guys. Obviously you can get him out. He's a 189 hitter. But if you get one that he likes and he puts the good part of the bat on it, it goes a long way. Neffy's trying to throw this ball down and away. It ends up and in, right in his wheelhouse. His eyes light up, and that ball went almost off the facing of the restaurant out there in left field. Carter knew it was gone, and so did everybody else. That's what happens when you miss your target.
Yeah, Carlos Corporan pops up the first pitch into foul territory, and his counterpart, Chris Jimenez, makes the catch. That is out number 1.
I should say that's what can happen when you miss your target. Obviously, it doesn't always happen. See the hit speed on that. I've been terrible at this, Buzz.
104.
I'm going to say 100. 105.
105.
There you go. I'm going to let you take over on those guesses.
No.
I'm in a slump.
Normally, a ball that hit that high isn't traveling that fast.
Yeah,
at least when we measure it, seems like.
I've been fooled the same way on ones that are high and then ones that are just line shots. Some of those ones that are line shots are 99, 98, and then you see a high one like that, and it's 105. So that is a little bit deceptive. But I guess even if you hit it high, you have to hit it hard to make it go 430 feet like that.
Yeah. There's a drive to left field. Smolinski going back. Has this one measured. And able to corral it before it gets to the warning track. So Hernandez, deep line out. 2 gone for Marwin Gonzalez. Nephew Feliz has an ERA now anyway. First run he has given up since his return to the big leagues. You'll face Gonzalez, who is 1 for 2 tonight. Had a single his last time.
Well, one good thing with Neffy, he has given up the home run, but he's 1 2/3 into his outing. He's only thrown 15 pitches.
Yeah. That's in stark contrast to what we saw from him before. Even when he was throwing the ball well, it was very rarely a low pitch per hitter pitcher. Beltray takes care of that, and that'll do it. So after the home run, it's 1-2-3. But Chris Carter leading off the inning with his 16th home run of the year. He's put the Astros back in front by 2. It is 4-2 Houston. time now for the Sonic Slam inning, brought to you by Sonic. Tonight's jackpot is worth $1,100 and dinner for two at Sonic Drive-In. Tonight, the Rangers are hitting for Rick Gay from River Oaks. And if a Ranger hits a grand slam this inning, Rick Gay from River Oaks will win $25,000. You can register at any participating Sonic restaurant. Well, the Rangers have the numbers 2, 3, and 4 to start things off. Elvis Andrus facing Brad Peacock for the third time tonight. Elvis 1 for 2 and a single in the third inning. The next pitch to him is high. 2 balls, no strikes. The Astros now 4 runs on 7 hits. Rangers 2 runs on 5 hits. Peacock able to drop in that breaking ball, and that's something he's been able to do tonight. Even though his fastball command hasn't been great, he's been able to throw something other than a fastball when he's been behind for a strike. Peacock to the wind, the 2-1. Nice reaction. Chopper right off out in front of home plate, and Elvis thrown out. That is 1 gone for Alex Rios. Sean Tolleson, who worked an inning and 2/3 last night, boosting in the Ranger bullpen here this evening. Ranger pen in a little bit better shape tonight. Darren Downs, the left-hander, in the Astros bullpen. Rangers bullpen a little bit better tonight than it was last night, primarily because of the work that Scott Baker was able to do. And saving the rest of the pen after Sean Tolleson worked an inning and 2/3. Rios 0 for 2, a fly ball and a strikeout this evening. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fouled into the glove of Carlos Corcoran, 1-2. Peacock, a little extra late movement on that fastball that has some cutting action to it. Still 1-2 on the foul ball. Tom told you, though, Peacock, of late anyway, has thrown the ball well. He's been much better off in his major league career as a starter than he has as a reliever. ERA is about 2 runs lower. Pulled on the ground. Dominguez drops it, recovers, throws not nearly in time, and Rios is aboard.
It looked like he made a stab at it and caught it in the air, and then the ball fell out of his glove. He had the wrong guy running. Still would have been able to recover with some hitters. Yep, he had it, looked like in the top of his glove and couldn't hold on to it. A lot of times a hitter will see that and stop. I don't know if he actually got it in his glove first or whether it hit the ground first. If it hit the ground first and it wasn't going to be a catch, I don't think he was going to throw Alex out anyway.
Now, I'm going to give him a base hit.
Yep, that should be.
Benefit of the doubt for Alex Rios. Yeah, with his speed. No, Rios with his first hit of the night is aboard. Now, Adrian Beltre, who came within inches of hitting his 13th home run of the year, leading off the 4th. As it was, and went for a triple. And he scored on Martin's sacrifice fly. Pounds this one in the air to center field. Moving back is Springer. He has this one under control, though. Makes the catch. Tagging it first, Rios a bluff to second. And Springer a good, strong throw into the bag.
Rangers hit a number of balls like that today. Chu hit one his last time up, sky high, right to the base of the wall in dead center field. Adrian hit this ball pretty well, pretty deep to center field. Didn't get it all, though.
Full Porter out to the mound now with the left-hander Leonis Martin coming up, and that's going to do it for Brad Peacock. So he will come out of the ball game after 5 2/3. He leaves leading 4-2 with Alex Rios at first, his responsibility, and the left-hander Darren Downs is coming on. So while he makes his way in, we will take a timeout. We're back after this on Fox Sports Southwest. play the final game of the series against the Astros. And it's also Noah and Ryan Beef Dollar Hot Dog Night here at Globe Life Park. Noah and Ryan Beef hot dogs are just $1 each. Don't wait. Get your tickets right now at TexasRangers.com, or you can call 972-RANGERS if you prefer. Aaron Downs with a breaking ball that spun Leonis Martin out of the batter's box and came in for a strike. 0-1.
Numbers for Darren Downs, 28th ball game for him. Saw him in last night's game as well. Tall, lanky left-hander with a slider. Kind of guy you bring in to face a left-hand hitter, especially one that just hit a home run earlier in the game.
A little toss to first, and Alex Rios back. Aaron Downs, a Michigan native. He is a 29-year-old, claimed off of waivers from the Tigers by the Astros. Leonis Martin now finds himself down in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Our AT&T U-Verse Rewind will take us back to the 2nd inning. Leonis Martin leading off against Brad Peacock, and he hit a moonshot that came down 8 rows into the lower home run court. His 5th home run of the year, and he has gone on strikes here. Downs gets the strikeout. The Rangers are gone in the 6th inning. No runs a hit. They strand their 3rd runner of the game. 7th inning coming up from Global. Life in the Ford game summary showed you a 4-2 Astros lead. Home runs by George Springer, a 430-foot blast into dead center, and Chris Carter 409, only because it hit a wall out there. Would have been a little bit further had that wall not gotten in the way. Leonis Martin for the Rangers, a solo home run and a sacrifice fly. There's been an entirely different game than we saw here last night. This has been well pitched by Phil Irwin, the Rangers starter, and ensuing Neftali Feliz out of the bullpen. Also Brad Peacock for the Astros. Sean Tollison has entered the game to take over here in the 7th inning.
Yeah, and Sean has gotten a lot of work this year. Regular work out of the bullpen. This will be his 38th ball game. A little over halfway through the season, so he's looking at throwing 75 or 80 innings this year, getting 65 to 75 appearances. That's a full load for a reliever. And you look at his ERA at 3.07, opponent's batting average of 217. The one thing that Sean can do to get that even lower is keep the home run ball down a little bit. He's given up 9 home runs. But he's thrown the ball well for the Rangers this year in relief.
He's going to face the top of the order, Jose Altuve, to start things off, and the breaking ball is dropped over the outside corner for strike 1. Altuve is 2 for 3 this evening, and a batting average of 341 as he faces Tollison. Right-hander just off the outside corner with that fastball. 1-1. Donaldson has really turned that cut fastball into a consistent weapon against both left-handers and right-handers. He has a very good changeup and a good breaking ball too. A complete repertoire for a reliever. 2-1 now. And this kind of getting into uncharted territory for Donaldson as far as his workload. Previously, the most games he'd ever pitched in a year was with the Dodgers. He appeared in 40 games in 2012. Next pitch is high. It's 3-1 to Altuve. Altuve leading off tonight here in the 7th inning. He'll be followed by Robbie Grossman, the right fielder. Good fastball to the outside corner. A full count. Donaldson reading the signs, a right-hander with a high set. Payoff pitch. And that off-speed pitch just missed high. And Altuve draws the leadoff walk. And let's head over to Jim Knox real quick, who has a special guest for us. Jim.
All right, Buzz, appreciate it. How about this Saturday? Big night because it is Eric Nadel bobblehead night. That's right, when the Rangers take on the Angels. The first 15,000 fans, 14 years and up, received this beautiful Eric Nadel bobblehead doll. And speaking of Eric Nadel, here he is, the Hall of Famer himself. What do you think about this?
I think it's very accurate. They gave me a lot of hair, more than I actually have. The papers on the counter are suitably messy. It's a perfect rendition.
Now, the nice thing about it, you touch the baseball, and it has your call of when the Rangers clinched the American League Championship Series back in 2010. Let's see if we can pick it up. That had to be one of your most memorable moments.
Is it coming out of that part of my body? That's where many thought the call
Matter of fact,
from.
it is.
that really was my most memorable call and my most memorable moment doing Ranger games. I'll never forget that.
Now, I know you're busy right now doing a little radio play-by-play, but it is happening this Saturday. Big night, Eric Nadel bobblehead night. Also, the game starts at 6 o'clock, but the fans need to show up at least by 5:30, not only get their bobblehead doll, but also to honor the great Eric Nadel this Saturday night. Eric, appreciate it.
It's going to be fun. Looking forward to be down on the field.
There we go. All right, Buzz.
All right, Knoxy, thank you. That's great. And couldn't happen to a better guy and a more recognizable figure in Ranger baseball history.
Hey, that's a cool bobblehead, too. The ones to talk. They had one out in Oakland of the great radio broadcaster for the A's, the late
Bill King?
Bill King.
Yeah.
Mine went blank there for a minute. That's why you have a partner to help you out.
That's right.
Though, right?
That's right. Team. We can forget together. 2-1. Here's the count. Altuve, the runner at first. Grossman at the plate. 0 for 2 tonight. He's walked and he's been aboard twice. He reached on that odd play back in the first after striking out. Altuve on the move. The pitch is hit deep to right field. Rios is going back, midway back on the track, and he makes the catch. Grossman gave it a pretty good ride, but Alex Rios had it measured all the way.
It looks like Grossman must have hit that ball just a little bit off the end of the bat because it had the home run trajectory, but the ball just didn't really jump. Give Alex time to get back to catch it. Let's take a look. We'll be able to see. Yeah, I think he hit it off the end of the bat. It's an off-speed pitch, and one of those pitches that you say Sean didn't really throw that one where he wanted to, but there's one you get away with.
Yep.
Didn't hit it that well.
Well, that is out number 1 with Altuve remaining at first. George Springer 1 for 2. And that long home run in the 3rd inning. His 18th of the year. Also walked and scored. That was back in the 1st. Donaldson. There goes Altuve. The pitch is outside. The throw is late. And Altuve, another stolen base. He's going to 3rd. Elvis has the throw and it hits him in the back. right in the back of the head. Altuve sliding into the bag. Had that ball carry him off the bottom of his helmet. And got him in the back of the head at the same time.
Well, that's some quickness right there. Elvis actually had time. He just didn't have a good angle. Altuve is right in line with his throw. Throw is low. Altuve wasted no time. The only way Elvis could have gotten him was kind of throw high to the right and hope Adrian could come back and make the tag. He probably could have. But the throw was right in line, and it's a good thing Jose had the helmet on.
Well, that's going to be scored a stolen base and then an error on Chris Jimenez for the throw that got away from Rougned Odor that allowed Altuve to make it to third.
And another multi-stolen base night, number 41 for Altuve, and being able to take third puts him on third base, causes Wash to have to play the infield in right here, try to hold this run.
Up the middle, off the glove, and into center field. Odor had the glove down, and Springer's going for second. The throw, and out at second base.
Yeah, they're just running until they get caught.
Yep.
Good try by Springer, though. He could fly, boy. And nice play by Martin, too.
Yep.
Caught it, kind of threw it off balance like a shortstop to get the out at second base. Good gamble right there by Springer. Took a really nice play by Martin to get him.
Well, that ball's a rocket up the middle, and Martin able to make that off-balance throw, almost like an infielder. He put it right there for Odor to make the tag. And speaking of the tag at second, we're going to get an appeal by Bo Porter. Came out to the second base to lodge the appeal. Second base umpire Adam Hamari, the one who made the call, and they're going to say that Springer got that left hand in before the tag was applied.
We'll find out right here. Pretty close.
Yep, sure was.
There was a ball hit kind of like that last night. A hard smash up the middle that Rougned got a glove on and couldn't come up with. Two very difficult plays in back-to-back nights. Well, if I'm Adam Hamari at second base, I'm making the same call if I saw it live like that.
Yeah. Well, Adam Hamari and the crew chief, Bill Miller, who's umpiring first tonight, have the headsets on. They are in contact with Major League Baseball's Replay Command Center in New York. And that's where the decision will emanate from on this challenge.
I think if you saw the replay in slow motion first, you might say safe. But then, Buzz, it's the same old question. Is it conclusive evidence to overturn the call, which was out? That's what they're listening to right now.
Clear and convincing evidence is what it takes to overturn that call.
And I would imagine that is one they've got to look at from a couple of different angles. It's a very close play.
Yeah, sure is. In any event, it's going to be an error charged to Odor on the original hit off the bat of George Springer. Yeah, I think from that angle, Tom, there's not enough evidence there to overturn it.
Doesn't look like it.
I don't think it's clear and convincing that the call was not correct.
We've been fooled before on that, though, so I'm going to reserve judgment until I see the umpires put the headset down and make their call. Yeah, that was a tough error on a hard hit ball.
Yep. And he is going to be out.
Good.
So the call on the field is going to stand. It is confirmed, as a matter of fact. And with the run coming across, that makes it a 5-2 Astros lead. Springer does get an RBI on the grounder, the hard hit grounder. Feeling that Altuve would have scored, even had the ball been fielded cleanly. So that'll do it for Sean Tolleson. He exits after 2/3 of an inning. We'll bring on Aaron Pareda as he makes his way in. We'll take a timeout. Back after this on Fox Sports Southwest.
Life Park in Arlington. Aaron Pareda on to pitch for the Rangers as they trail the Astros 5-2. And Buzz and Tom have been talking all night and the last couple of days, for that matter, about the development of Rougned Odor, both at the plate and in the field. And Tom specifically referenced Rougned's ability to go back and catch pop flies from the infield into the outfield. And Tom, you're not the only one who noticed this ability of Rougned.
The ball go up. He knows when it comes down, it's supposed to be an out. So he go until one of the outfielders call him off. And, you know, that's what you want in a kid. Anyone that's out there playing, really, ball go up, go get it. And he does that, and they have to call him off. And I don't know when.
And Tom, I know that's one of the things you talked about. Maybe we appreciate more in a season like this when you're trying to find the positive, and that's definitely one of those things you appreciate watching from a player. And I talked to Rugi about it today, and he said it's just something that he's practiced throughout the course of his career, something he takes great pride in. And I think you spoke to it a little bit yesterday. He just is kind of fearless in that regard and wants to go get opportunities like that.
Yeah, I think that is it. I think he is fearless, Em, and he also has a lot of confidence, and that probably comes from all the practice he's put in on it. I think if you lack confidence, you go back a little tentatively, but when you've got confidence and you want the ball, like Wash said, you go back and you don't want to get called off. You want to go as far as you can to catch that ball, and that's what it looks like.
Meanwhile, Aaron Pareda has come into the ball game, and he gave up a ringing double to John Singleton. Singleton with the ground rule double. Ball bounding out of play down the right field line. So he is at second base now. Dominguez is the hitter. Look at that ball bounding into the wedgie down that right field line. Just barely fair and bouncing out of play. 0-1 the count to Dominguez. Good breaking ball down and in. 0-2. Dominguez tonight 1 for 3, had an RBI single in the first inning. Astros with 8 hits tonight, 5 runs to go along with the 8 hits. Dominguez, a .240 hitter with 11 home runs and 39 driven in. Pareda's next pitch. 1-2. Pareda, the 27-year-old out of Northern California, went to the University of San Francisco. Facing Matt Dominguez. Got him swinging. Jimenez picks the ball up, makes the tag, and that will do it. Astros come up with a run, though, on a hit, a couple of errors, and a walk. They strand one. Stretch time at Globe Life Park, 5-2 Houston. trailing 5-2, and it's time now to take a look at tonight's AT&T fan photo of the game. Thanks to all the folks at AT&T for making this happen. This is from Mike. We appreciate the great Ranger get up, the good looking hat from Mike, that two-tone bill and the rim of the hat with the big T. Been working on that Elvis kind of beard he had going. Elvis gave up on his. I don't know if Mike's going to or not. Hashtag Southwest Fan Photo if you'd like to have your photo displayed on one of our upcoming telecasts. We will select a new photo for each ball game this year. Chris Jimenez starting things off here in the Rangers' 7th against Darren Downs, and the pitch is outside. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Jimenez tonight has struck out and grounded out to the right side. Downs came on to replace Brad Peacock with 2 out in the 6th inning. Got the strikeout of Leonis Martin, and now starting the 7th. After the Astros put up a run to advance their cause by a 5-2 count now. 3-0. Outside, ball 4. Jimenez draws the 4-pitch walk.
Well, you love to get the leadoff hitter on. You'll take a walk. From Bo Porter's point of view, after you just scored to go ahead 5-2, leadoff walk is not what you're looking for.
Well, before Carlos Pena steps in, let's take time for Mazda Game Break with Dana Larson. All right, Dana, thank you. Here the Astros leading 5-2, but Rangers trying to get something going here in the 7th inning. Carlos Pena takes low for ball 1. Pena slide out right to the base of the wall, right to the wall in front of the Ranger bullpen back in the 2nd inning. Last time up, hit the ball sharply right into a shift that the Astros had on. Now Brent Strom, the Astros pitching coach, going out to talk to Darren Downs.
He didn't like the walk either, and he's going to stay in there to face the lefty no matter what.
A very quick and concise discussion.
4 strikes, the manager's upset.
That's right. Carlos Pena, the veteran left-handed hitter, ahead in the count. 1 ball, no strikes. Chris Jimenez, the runner at first base after the leadoff walk. And Downs misses low. It's 2-0.
That's one way to get back in the game. Get a couple of leadoff walks. Take your chances. Like the game in Detroit tonight, Buzz. Dodgers scored 5 in the 1st inning off Justin Verlander, and they're behind 14-5 in the 8th inning. A little bit of a turnaround in that game.
Yeah. I think the Tigers are getting their offensive mojo going again. 2-0 pitch, and that is a strike. Taken all the way, Carlos Pena eyeballed that into Corcoran's glove. Pena hitting 159 now since joining the ball club. 7 for 44. He has Jimenez at first. Down sets and checks him. Carlos taking the ball the other way. At least that was the thought on that swing. He fouled it back to the screen.
Got a lot more room to roll one through on the left side than there is on the right side.
Look at the shift and double-barreled action. Josh Zeid and Tony Sipp. Zeid, the right-hander, out of the Astros bullpen. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That will slice back and out of play down the left field line. Now this is a situation, a veteran hitter like Carlos Pena knows he can't tie the game with one swing of the bat. His main focus is to get aboard
with a base runner.
way you can possibly do it. And facing a tough left-hander like Downs is probably best if you try to hit the ball the other way.
Well, we've got the outfield shaded way around toward left and the infield shaded way around toward right.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Downs checking Jimenez at first. Slow tapper down to first base. Singleton going to underhand Altuve and almost got the little guy killed.
Who did he throw that to?
He was splitting the difference.
I thought he was flipping it to the pitcher. And I didn't see Altuve sneak in there.
Altuve talking to Benji Molina says, you know what, I almost got killed. Oh, the play throws 3-4 on the putout. Standard 3-4 putout at first. Another look at it here.
That's a good thing Altuve got there because I don't think the pitcher would have gotten there in time.
He had to run around Singleton, and by the time you do that, there's no chance of getting back to the bag. So that's going to do it for Darren Downs. He leaves with a runner at first, or at second, I should say, and 1 out. Jake Smolinski will be the hitter, or at least his spot will come up, and a pitching change underway as Josh Zeid is coming in. We'll take a timeout. Back after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Have you come out and show your school spirit at a Texas Rangers game. Get discounted tickets for the game this Friday against the Angels. The first 1,000 fans receive a Rangers cap in Baylor green and gold color. Go to TexasRangers.com/Baylor for details. Part of the University Days promotion by Fox Sports Southwest. They have all the universities represented out here. Josh Zeid, hard-throwing right-hander, on now.
Yeah, Josh Zeid has had 3 stints in the big leagues with the Astros. He's pitched very well at AAA. Not quite as well at the big league level. He's got an ERA over 6. Got a big arm, good fastball. Trying to establish himself as a setup reliever.
And the first pitch, a breaking ball, and Jake Smolinski was thinking fastball. Couldn't check his swing in time. 0-1. Smolinski has struck out both times that he's come up tonight. Those 2 at-bats were against Brad Peacock. Went down swinging in the second, got caught looking in the 5th inning. Chris Jimenez, the runner at second base, 1 out here in the Rangers' 7th. Corcoran has to go down to the ground to block that pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Josh Zeid, a 27-year-old, is a Connecticut native. He was part of that big trade that we were talking about last night with Philadelphia for Houston. Rip and a miss by Smolinski. Deal the trading deadline of 2011 that sent Hunter Pence to Philadelphia. And in return, the Astros got Jared Cozart, Jonathan Singleton, Josh Zeid, and Domingo Santana. Santana was just sent down before this series started. So at the start of this series, or just before it, they had all 4 of those players at the big league level and producing. Pretty good turn of events, a turn of personnel for the Astros. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Smolinski. Foul ball outside third. We'll come back and try it again.
Well, the Astros had reached the point where they knew they weren't going to contend, and it made sense to try to trade veteran players who had some trade value. Certainly Hunter Pence, by the nature of that trade, had a lot of trade value. But Jed Lowry also had some trade value. They made a good trade right there, too.
Yeah, that was a deal that brought Chris Carter and Peacock. The 2-2 again. That time Smolinski able to check his swing, and the count has gone full now. So with 1 out, Smolinski trying to get aboard to join Jimenez. Rougned Odor, your number 9 hitter, is waiting. Rangers need 1 more base runner to have the tying run coming to the plate. Payoff pitch. That ball's blasted to left field. Deep toward the wall, it's off the wall. Around third, coming in to score, Jimenez into second with his first major league hit. An RBI double is Jake Smolinski. And it's a 5-3 Houston lead.
Well, that's his first hit that you won't forget that one. That's not a blooper or a ground ball. That's a rope. Smashed it off the left field wall, and Jake's got a big smile on his face, and I don't blame him. Almost had a hit in his second at bat last night. Hit a tricky ground ball to the right side. Turned into an out. He struck out a couple of times tonight, so in his 5th major league at bat, he rips one off the wall. Not only does he get a base hit, he gets an extra base hit, hanging slider right down the middle of the plate, but he also picks up an RBI to go along with it. Beautiful swing, and one he'll never forget.
That's a pretty good bullet out there to the wall. So that hit is going to drive Josh Zeid from the ball game. With the Rangers, Odor coming to the plate, representing the tying run in this game. Bo Porter is going to the bullpen once again. So Jake Smolinski has driven Josh Zeid from the game after just 1 hitter. Another pitching change underway here at Globe Life Park. The Astros leading 5-3 now. And we'll take a timeout back after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Coming to the plate with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Bo Porter has again gone to the bullpen. He's come out with the left-hander Tony Sipp, who was in last night's ball game. Jake Smolinski out there at second. Telling Jose Altuve how he got that RBI double as his first major league hit.
Jose loves to talk, boy. He jawing the whole game. Very friendly second baseman. Tony Sipp threw the ball great last night. He's thrown the ball well all season long. Nice 284 earned run average, 35 strikeouts in 25 innings. Only 5 walks, 35-5 strikeout to walk ratio, and a great 156 opponent's batting average.
He came in last night, faced 5 hitters and struck 4 of them out. Matter of fact, he struck the first 4 out in succession. And Smolinski and then Chirinos, Jimenez, and Odor. Rube had an opportunity to get even with Tony Sipp. And the breaking ball is outside for ball 1. That's a pitch that Rube would have swung at last night. Not faced Sipp before.
Well, he's got some experience.
Yep.
Ross said he's a fast learner. He's got good aptitude, so maybe he'll put that into play right here.
Odor tonight is 1 for 2. Got Smolinski at second base with 1 out. And that fastball is low. 2 balls, no strikes. We've got a 265 hitter. He's been stuck on 17 RBI though for a little while. I'm sure he'd like to get off that number. The breaking ball stays inside. Carlos Corcoran turning around to Vic Carapazza with questioning look at him. Carapazza now looking into the Astros dugout. Apparently some other people were questioning the call. Tony Sipp taking a long walk around the mound. So we've got a lot of people upset with him. Vic Carapazza probably heard from Bo Porter in that Astros dugout. 3 balls, no strikes, the count. And a strike is called.
Well, none of them are really quality pitches as far as strikes go, but I guess out of all 4 of those, you deserve to get maybe 1 called a strike. But I wouldn't throw that same pitch again because I don't think you get it called again.
3-1. Pop foul will reach the seats over the Astros dugout. The count is now full to Odor. Rugnet trying to get aboard, and as the tying run, he would put a couple on board for the top of the order. Shin-Soo Choo is waiting in that on-deck circle. A 5-3 Houston lead. Astros about hit the Rangers 8-7 now. Payoff pitch. Outside, ball 4. Pretty doggone good at bat for Rugnet Odor against Tony Sipp.
I guess you have to throw the pitch right there that you think you can throw for a strike. You don't want to walk him in that situation. Got the 9th place hitter up there. At least that's the way you have to look at it if you're Astros. And he throws him a 3-2 slider and missed with it. And now you got the top of the order coming up. Well, good at bat for Rugnet.
Josh Fields out there getting loose in the Astros bullpen.
The bottom of the order getting a little rally going here in the 7th inning. Double by Smolinski and a walk to Odor. Let's see if the veteran guys can make something happen.
Shin-Soo Choo almost gets plunked by that Sipp pitch. Choo and Sipp spent a few years together in Cleveland. They're no strangers to each other. Choo tonight 1 for 3. Had a single his first time up. 2 on with 1 out. Sipp to the plate. A ball and a strike. Tony Sipp okays the sign. Couple of looks at second. And the pitch. 1-2.
fastball by Sip, 93 miles an hour, and he zipped it right on the outside corner.
Sip pitched for the Indians, and he pitched a lot for the Indians, starting in 2009. He was as many as 70 ball games in 1 year for Cleveland. In the dirt, Chu able to check his swing. That evens the count now at 2-2. Sip spent last year with the Diamondbacks out in Arizona. Two balls and 2 strikes to Shin-Soo Choo. Sip, a check of second. Got him swinging. Fastball up and in, and Chu couldn't lay off it. That is a big strikeout for Tony Sip. Second out here in the 7th inning, and Elvis Andrus is coming to the plate.
He's trying to throw it down and away. It's up and in, but the result is what he was looking for. We're going to see most of the Astro bullpen tonight, it looks like.
Yeah, you've got the 3 right-handers now, Andrus, Rios, and Beltre coming up. And so both order going lefty against lefty, and now righty against righty. He wants Josh Fields to come in to face Elvis Andrus. And again, the Rangers have the tying runs aboard here in the 7th inning. 5-3 the score. Got a couple of runners on and 2 outs. We're going to take a timeout. Back after this on Fox Sports Southwest. They have a run across here in the 7th inning. They trail by 2. They have the tying runs aboard. Elvis Andrus is now going to face Josh Fields with 2 outs.
Well, Josh Fields pitched in last night's ball game, and he got some strikeouts last night. He was throwing the ball great. On the season, though, his ERA is 5.46. But he's got a lot of strikeouts, 44 strikeouts in 29 innings. And if you're Elvis right here, you're trying to do what he did the second time up. Hit the ball on a line, hit the ball on the ground, try to get it into the outfield and get a run in and give Alex Rios a chance. Keep the ball out of the air.
Last night in the 4th inning, Elvis Andrus up with the bases loaded. And he unloaded them very quickly. A 3-run double into the corner.
Probably hoping to see that same pitch right here.
Yep.
Fields had a very effective fastball in last night's game, and chances are that's what Elvis is going to see.
Well, Elvis was caught looking at a 3rd strike against Fields last night. He was the first hitter that Fields faced when he came in. Off-speed pitch is inside, and the count evens at 1-1.
Tried to give him that same pitch.
Yep. Jimenez at second, or Smolitsky at second, excuse me. He drove home Jimenez. Odor at first. The 1-1 pitch. Hit well to center field. Springer, though, has room, and he hasn't measured. And that will do it. Well, Elvis twice tonight has hit the ball sharply to center with nothing to show for it. Rangers get a run on a hit and a couple of walks. They strand 2. On to the 8th. It's 5-3 Houston.
Line Park, Buzz and Tom, time for the progressive fan of the game. You know, we could give it to this Norm Hitchkiss lookalike. Hey, Norm, looking good. Hey, that looks like him. But we're going to give it to 7-year-old Jackson. He comes to, how many games does he come with you?
Just about every home game we can get to.
All right, very much. There you go, Jackson, the progressive shirt, and comes with Dad just about every home game. Good to have Jackson out here rooting the Rangers on along with his dad. Great job, guys. Way to go, Norm.
That guy looked just like
he
Norm.
did. Yeah, he sure did. Chris Carter starting things off. Aaron Pareda deals, and Carter hits a towering fly ball to deep center. Back at the wall, leaping up is Martin, and that ball's gone. Chris Carter with his second home run of the night. This one a moonshot to dead center, and that makes it a 6-3 Astros lead.
He hit that ball just like Shin-Soo hit his, only it went about 3 feet farther, coming straight down about a foot over the fence. You hope that he just got underneath it a little too much, but he didn't. Fastball out over the plate. He's hit a high fastball and now one about halfway between the knees and the waist.
Well, he is a big, strong man. Just out of Martin's reach.
Well, even though he's hitting 189, he's a threat every time he comes up there, and seen that tonight. Came into the game with 15, and now he has 17 home runs on the season.
I believe right there Martin thought he had it. And then the grimace as he realized it went over his glove. Ground ball up the middle by Pareda. Odor will try and make the throw, but Corcoran able to leg it out.
Well, that was one, even with the catcher running, he didn't have time, but it was a beautiful play. He had to range far to his right and catch it. He threw it running toward left field and jumping. He got it over there accurately, but just wasn't able to get enough on it to get Corcoran, who's not a fast runner, but had plenty of time to get there.
That's a pretty accurate throw for considering where he threw it from and how he threw it. How do you do that? How do you jump straight up in the air when you're going away from first base and make that accurate a throw?
You just got to be an athlete, Buzz.
I guess.
We wouldn't know that.
No, I sure wouldn't.
I would have pulled a hamstring just trying to come within a foot of catching it.
Oh, one on, still nobody out. Kike Hernandez is up for his fourth at bat of the night. Takes low for ball one. Hernandez, a couple of fly balls to left and a ground ball to second tonight. Hernandez with the average at 320. This is ending his first week at the major league level. He has come in and done a very good job for the Astros right away. This is 8th career major league game. Roman Mendez out of the major bullpen. Barreto with the 2-0 pitch. It's fouled back. Hernandez, just a 22-year-old. He became just the third Astro in franchise history to get an RBI double in his first major league plate appearance. It's making a pretty good first impression. J.D. Martinez did that also back in 2011, and go back to 1979. Tom Wiedenbauer did it for the Astros. Pulled down the left field line. It's hooking deep into the corner and off the wall. It's a fair ball. Going into third is Corcoran. Into second with a ringing double is Hernandez. And Aaron Pareda has given up some sound in this inning. The towering home run, the base hit up the middle, and now a ringing double high off the wall in left field.
Yeah, he's faced 5 hitters. 4 of them have had hits, 2 doubles and a home run. Singleton greeted Aaron with a double down the right field line last inning, but he struck out Dominguez to get out of that inning. But this inning, it's been home run, infield hit, double. A jam to pitch out of right here.
Kike Hernandez with his second double this year. And that one was maybe a foot and a half from being a home run. It would have been his second home run.
I thought that was going to hook foul, but
I did too.
Really wasn't in doubt. I guess if you were down there at home plate watching it.
Well, the Rangers now pull the infield all the way in. Marwin Gonzalez, a switch hitting shortstop up there. Gonzalez 1 for 3. Batting from the right side for the first time tonight. He takes a knee-high strike. Gonzalez with an average of 276. He has 4 home runs. He has driven across 10. There's Corcoran down at third. Hernandez at second. Barreto okays the sign. The left-hander sets at the belt. Up the middle, off of Barreto. It's caroming back toward home plate. And by the time Jimenez gets it, he doesn't have time to get back to tag Corcoran, who slides in safely to make it a 7-3 Astros lead.
Just a frustrating ball for Jimenez. There's nothing he could do. He was kind of hoping it would roll faster to him so he could catch it and make the tag. There was no way he could wait at home plate because no one else could get to it. And by the time he got to the ball, there really was no play. Almost caught a break. It was a smash that was headed to center field for 2 runs. Almost got a break and had it kick right to somebody and make an out of it.
Well, Barreto not able to get out of the way or deflect it in the right angle. So that's going to do it. Barreto, that caught a lot of his lower leg. Barreto is finished, and Roman Mendez is coming out of the Ranger bullpen. Runners at the corners, nobody out. A couple of runs across for the Astros here in the 8th inning. Pitching change again underway. Back after this on Fox Sports Southwest. Ranger run with, in this case, multiple runs. They pushed across 3, I think that 2 here in the 8th inning, and threatening for more. Roman Mendez making his debut with the Rangers. This is his major league debut. Mendez called up from AAA just day before yesterday. He is on now.
Oh, he's got a chance to pitch the rest of the 8th inning and the 9th inning if he throws strikes and can keep his pitch count down appropriately. Comes into a 1st and 3rd no-out situation in the 8th. The Astros have had 4 straight hits here in the 8th inning.
Mendez, a 23-year-old from San Pedro in the Dominican Republic. He came over to the Rangers from the Red Sox organization back in 2010, that trade deadline swap of Jared Saltalamacchia. But Mendez and Chris McGinnis, and at that time Michael Thomas in exchange for Salty. Now, runners at the corners, and for the 5th time tonight, Jose Altuve is coming to the plate. Altuve 2 for 3. He also had a walk. He has stolen 2 bases. He's got a chance here to do some damage. Hernandez at 3rd base and Gonzalez at 1st. Rangers will play the middle of the infield back, trying to get a double play turn. Good breaking ball from Mendez for strike 1. Hernandez down there at 3rd. He had that booming double off the wall in left, and over at 1st, Marwin Gonzalez, who scalded one off the lower part of Aaron Paredes' leg. Now Altuve drives one to left center field. That's going to send Martin back far enough for it to be a sacrifice fly. Tagging at 3rd, coming in to score is Hernandez. On to second base, Marwin Gonzalez. And even though the throw from Martin went to second, Gonzalez able to leg it out. The throw was offline a little bit.
Yeah, I think what happened on that one is I don't think Leonis was anticipating a throw. He caught the ball, looked, and then I think was surprised by Gonzalez, and that led to the errant throw. I think if he got in position and was ready to throw to second, planning on throw to second, he could have made a better throw, but he had no idea he was going to have to make a throw right there. I don't think he just wasn't ready for that.
Yep.
You could tell by the way he caught it. He wasn't in position to throw. He looked in and went, whoops, I better throw this ball.
The first ball swinging. Bobby Grossman grounds out to Carlos Pena, who underhands to Mendez for out number 2. On to 3rd is Gonzalez. Now there are 2 outs and George Springer coming up.
If Leonis goes back on that ball and catches it, anticipates the throw, then he's going to throw Gonzalez out by 10 feet trying to go to second base on that ball. You see him, he's going to catch the ball, not in position to throw. He looks now, surprised by the runner, and you can tell he's not in position to get anything on the throw. His left leg is way on the other side of his body. If he catches the ball coming in, which he had time to do, then that's an easy out at second base. But that's development. That's of a learning process.
Sure is.
You know there's no play at the plate, but there's still a man on first base, and don't take for granted that he went halfway on the play. Teaching moment. And I got a feeling Gary Pettis will mention that to him.
Yep. Probably before he gets settled in the dugout. 1-0 is the count to George Springer. Springer had a home run leading off the 3rd inning tonight. As that Mendez pitch back, it is 1-1. Springer also had an RBI on a ground ball in the 7th inning. He reached on an error and ended up getting thrown out trying to stretch that into 2 bases. 48 RBI now for Springer with 18 home runs. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count to him. Bell high on the outside corner. It is 1-2.
Yeah, big arm for Roman. 96 miles an hour with that fastball. Looks like a fastball slider kind of guy. A lot to work with, though. A lot of physical tools to work with. And again, here's a young kid for development purposes, seeing if he can develop at the big league level.
Mendez sets at the belt, and the 1-2 pitch. Ball strike 3.
Good serve.
Springer, a little surprised, maybe overmatched a little bit. Well, the Astros scored 3 times, and Strander runner. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. It's now the Astros 8 and the Rangers 3.
Astros on top, leading the Rangers 8-3. Reminding you, though, that we, of course, will have Rangers Live presented by Esurance coming up right after the game. Join me and Mark McLemore as we discuss Phil Irwin's Ranger debut, also Jake Smolinski's first Major League hit and RBI, and Yu Darvish in the finale tomorrow. He has dominated the Astros over his career, but had a bit of a scare in batting practice today. We'll have those details for you and the video as well, so join us right after the game. We will see you for Rangers Live from the Captain Morgan Club, guys.
All right, Dana, thank you. Now Alex Rios leading things off here in the bottom of the 8th inning. He has gotten ahead of Josh Fields at 2 balls and no strikes. Fields came on in the 7th with 2 on and 2 out. Got the final out as Elvis Andrus skied to center field. And the Astros went on to score 3 in the top of the 8th. They give him a 5-run advantage, but he's fallen behind Alex Rios, 3 balls and no strikes. Rios leading off to be followed by Adrian Beltre. Fastball, belt high for strike 1. Astros 8 runs on a dozen hits tonight. They had 17 in the game last night, scoring 12 runs. They put up another big total. Popped up, foul territory. Singleton coming over right at the railing of the Ranger dugout. Can't get it, it's back just beyond the top step. Oh, and it got ejected out of the dugout. Imagine that. Somebody in the first row has one. Well, the count has gone full now to Alex Rios. Rios had an infield single his last time up there, 1 for 3. The batting average at .305. Fields ready for the payoff pitch. Got him swinging. Fields doesn't look like he's throwing all that hard, but the reaction of the hitters will tell you they think he is.
Yeah, he has a very effective fastball the last couple of nights, getting a lot of swings and misses. I guess that's the true test of a fastball. Can you throw it right down the middle of the plate and get the hitter to miss it? And he was able to do that on a 300 hitter.
In a fastball count.
Yeah.
So, tip your hat to him there. Here's Adrian. He swung through that fastball. That was up a little bit. Beltre led off the fourth with a triple high off the wall, right off the top of the wall in front of the Ranger bullpen. Came around to score. He is 1 for 3 tonight. And to get on top of one of those high fastballs, and no luck yet. Beltre's average right where it began tonight, 334. Rangers tonight have scored in 3 different innings, and that usually means you're going to have, at least a pretty good shot at winning the ball game. But when you only score 1 run in each of those innings, Ron Washington was talking about this after the Baltimore series. We scored in a lot of innings, but not many crooked numbers. And that it does catch up with you. Beltre going after a changeup that time, fouled it straight back.
That was one of those changeups that Fields is fortunate he hung it as high as he did. Adrian was right on it. It was just not in a spot where he could do much with it. That's one, if you throw that down and out over the plate, probably gets hit pretty hard.
Fields back to the plate with the 0-2. And another foul ball lifted well out of play on the first base side. A reminder for you again, tomorrow night, great pitching matchup in store as Yu Darvish hopefully be on the hill, and Dallas Keuchel. I say hopefully because what Dana was just talking about, a little scare in batting practice. We have to see what that's all about. But apparently he's okay. Nothing major.
Boy, kind of put the finishing touches on the injuries for the season right there if he gets hurt.
The 1-2 pitch. This one popped up on the right side. Altuve going out and making the call, and in front of Bobby Grossman. Grossman just stopped. That's not one of those cases where Grossman, who just got recalled from AAA, is going to run over Altuve, telling him it was my fly ball. That's not going to happen. Altuve emphatically took charge. Watch Grossman. He's going to put the brakes on. Oh, I got to stop right there. I run over Jose Altuve, I'm going to get released on the spot.
Yeah, and actually it's an easier play for the right fielder, but Altuve says to him, don't worry about it, I got you covered out there.
No, 2 gone here in the Ranger 8th. Now Leonis Martin takes ball 1 outside. Martin 1 for 2. The leadoff home run in the second, his 5th of the year. In the 4th, had a sacrifice fly that plated Adrian Beltre. And he lines one to the gap in right center. That is plug in the alley all the way to the wall. Martin not stopping at second. He is motoring on to third. There will be no throw. And Leonis Martin standing with a triple.
Good day for Leonis. A home run, sac fly, struck out against the lefty, but then came back here in the 8th inning with a triple. Hit that ball hard in the right center field. Over the last couple of nights have had a hard time against Josh Fields, hitting the ball off the good part of the bat, but Leonis did it right there. Pitch out over the plate, split the gap in right center field.
Martin is 4th triple of the year, and that gets him going up the ladder just a little bit. Brent Strom is headed out to the mound. Don't know what this is going to be all about. With 2 outs.
He'd retired 3 straight guys, got a 5-run lead, give up a triple, and that requires some counseling out on the mound. Must have been pretty important.
Must have been. So Martin at third with 2 outs. Chris Jimenez, the hitter. Jimenez tonight has walked. And other than that, 0 for 2, a ground out and a strikeout. Fields with the first pitch. Drops in that breaking ball for strike 1. Chris, a .278 average as he faces Fields here in the eighth inning. That pitch is out of play. Nothing into the count. Fields okay as the sign. Right-hander checks third. Breaking ball is low. It's 1-2 now. Chris has seen his average in the last 12 games drop from 378 down to 278. He takes that breaking ball low. It's 2-2. Jimenez trying to pick up Leonis Martin from third. Just trailing by 5, trying to make some 2-out noise here in the 8th inning. Ball 3. Jimenez has worked the count from 0-2 to 3-2. And trying to get aboard with 2 outs, Carlos Pena, your first baseman, waits to be next. Payoff pitch is on the way. Gonzalez, shortstop, fires across, and that'll do it. The 2-out triple wasted. Leonis Martin stranded at third. We're going to the 9th inning at Globe Life Park.
The 9th here at Globe Life Park in Arlington. The Rangers looking to make yet another comeback. 8-3 is the score right now. And you know what comes after 2-3? There are 3 games in this 3-game series, and that means Game 3 is tomorrow, you guys. A great pitching matchup on tap. Dallas Keuchel and Yu Darvish. Yu Darvish, of course, making his final start before the All-Star break. And should be some high drama, and I'm predicting a swift game tomorrow. A swift game that ends in a Rangers victory. I'm going to that well once again, fellas, and guaranteeing a Rangers win in Game 3 of this series.
Little did we know, Em, that you were a mathematical genius.
I surprise you all the time, don't I, Tom?
That was amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Plainview High School education followed by a Texas Tech degree.
There you go. That's all you have to say.
Roman Mendez going to work to John Singleton here in the top of the 9th inning. Singleton a big night tonight. He has doubled and singled, driven in a run. Average now just 2 clicks below the Mendoza line. 198 for the big guy. Pretty good fastball that darts off the plate inside. 1-1. Chad Qualls, the current closer for the Astros, getting loose in their bullpen. Mendez sets at the belt, the 1-1 pitch. Off speed and floated a little bit high. It's 2-1. Singleton's had a big series, 3 for 4 last night, 2 for 4 here tonight. Pitch outside, 3-1. That for Singleton, coming off a series in Anaheim that saw him go 1 for 15. Mendez ready for the 3-1 pitch. Took something off that too.
Yeah, he did.
On 3-1.
Fooled him, had him way out in front of it. 89 miles an hour. But I guess that is something off when you throw 95, 96.
Yeah. Like Felix Hernandez 90-mile-an-hour changeup. Yeah. Now the payoff pitch coming. It's fouled back over our heads and out of play. Mendez came on to the last 3 outs in the bottom or in the top of the 8th inning. Trying to work through the 9th. He misses outside for ball 4. And he loses Singleton to open up the 9th inning.
Third baseman Matt Dominguez.
Singleton on for the 3rd time tonight. And it brings up the 3rd baseman Matt Dominguez. A crowd of just over 32,608 to be exact. 32,608 here tonight. Middle game of this 3-game set with the Astros. Dominguez 1 for 4 with an RBI single, his first time up. And Mendez able to drop in that breaking ball for strike 1. Dominguez now a 5-game hitting streak alive after his first inning single. Shoots one foul right below.
Whoa, we got the catch of the night right here, Buzz.
Is that a barehanded grab?
That was not only a barehanded grab, that showed tremendous range to his left. He speared that thing left-handed. I'm glad I saw that one.
He may not be happy he made that, and that hand starts throbbing. The 0-2 pitch is coming to Dominguez. Tapper down the first base side, and Carlos Pena will backtrack to the bag for out number 1 on to second.
Watch this guy.
Singleton. He's got the whole front of the press box covered.
Yeah, Bonnie's lucky he caught that one. Bonnie sits right in front of us. And they were getting out of the way. I just yelled down to her, "He saved you." She said, "No, he didn't. He took my ball." That would have taken a great catch.
Now 1 out with Singleton now on second base. And Chris Carter, who has had a huge night. He's been hit by a pitch, struck out. And the last 2 times up, he has hit solo home runs, leading off the 6th and leading off the 8th. He's had about 900 feet worth of home runs tonight. It's that first pitch a little bit low for Mendez. Carter now 17 home runs, 37 RBI, hitting 195. Those are combinations of numbers you don't see very often prior to the All-Star break.
You gotta be, you gotta be comfortable with the batting average to take the long ball, and he's going to hit some long balls.
Two and 0 the count.
If he ever does learn to make a little bit better contact, Who knows how many he could hit. Last year, he hit 29 home runs. He hit 223 last year. Struck out 212 times, but he hit 29 home runs, knocked in 82 runs. So there's some potential there, and the Astros are in a position where they can stick with him and see if he develops it.
Mendez drops in the breaking ball for a strike. It's 2-1. Yeah, and playing in that ballpark, Minute Maid, tailor-made for a big, strong guy like this. He doesn't have to pull the ball to hit the ball out of the ballpark. And down there, if he does happen to pull it, it's a very short porch in left. It's a reachable porch in right field for him and right center. It's this one behind the bag, a fair ball, nice play by Beltre in the dirt, but dug out by Payton. Pretty fancy glove work on both ends of that play. The veterans Beltre and Pena.
A hard hit ball right there by Carter. Made a bid for something other than a home run. Made a bid for a double, but Adrian said, no thank you. Strong throw across the diamond, but it did take a nice pick right here by Carlos Pena to probably save Adrian an error. But you know, in the course of a season, the infielders depend on the first baseman to make plays like that to save them errors. Really important part of defensive play by a first baseman to be able to scoop balls out of the dirt.
Carlos Corporate rolls over on one, and it's a roller out to second. Odor on to first. That'll do it. Second leadoff walk, no problem. 8 runners left stranded by the Astros. Rangers coming to bat in the bottom of the ninth, trailing 8-3. West is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. By AT&T U-Burst TV. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT, mobilizing your world. And by your Texas Ford dealers. It's the Ford Summer Spectacular Sales Event, now playing at your Ford dealer nearest you. Rangers trailing by 5 as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning. It will be the bottom third of the order, and Chad Walls is on for his 34th game of the year.
Yeah, Chad getting an opportunity to save games. He's 9 for 11 in save opportunities. He's got just about a strikeout per inning, and another reliever with a nice strikeout to walk ratio. 27 strikeouts, only 4 walks. A solid opponent's batting average of .241.
Ball's basically a fastball slider type of guy, but a lot of experience. He takes that to the mound. He's facing a very experienced hitter, and Carlos Pena to start things off. A strike to the outer corner. Pena 0 for 3. Carlos, though, has hit the ball squarely a couple of times tonight. 0-1 pitch. And it is 0-2.
A good hard sinker at 93 miles an hour. Really good movement on that pitch.
Qualls and Pena matched up a couple of times. And Qualls getting Carlos both times that they faced each other. Ahead of the count here, no balls and 2 strikes. Up the middle, but that's right where the shortstop Gonzalez is stationed. 1 gone. Next will be Jake Smolinski. Jake with his first major league hit, his first major league double, his first major league RBI last time up there. 1 for 3, he boomed a double right off the bottom of the wall in left field. He brought home Chris Jimenez with the 3rd Ranger run. Walls to the plate. It's outside for ball 1. Ranger bench in a tough time in the last month and a half. Guys trying to be as positive as they can about things, and it's just nothing seems like it's going consistently their way of late. Look back at Jake Smolinski's last at bat. Getting that double off of Josh Zide, and take a big deep breath. That problem is out of the way. You got your first one under your belt. Now it's all gravy from here on. 2-1 the count to him as he's facing Qualls here in the 9th. And that pitch just missing. It's 3 balls and a strike. Qualls taking in a deep breath. With an 8-3 game, rather than yell something down toward home plate, which I think is what he wanted to do. No, just take a deep breath and change baseballs and let it go. No sense antagonizing the home plate umpire now. The 3-1 pitch. Smolinski back in there. Qualls reading the signs. Right-hander with the payoff pitch on the way. Base hit to left field. Smolinski. Looks like he had another 3-2 breaking ball. The double he got outside was on a 3-2 hook.
Almost the same location too, Buzz. Stayed up and out over the plate, and he took advantage of it. In the hitting zone, and that's what you're supposed to do with it. Second hit, first and second big league hits. 2 for 6 now in his big league career, and he's got an RBI too.
Well, the Rangers now with 9 hits tonight, and Rougned Odor, who has one of them, he's 1 for 2 officially with a walk also. Takes strike 1. Odor singled his first time up. That was leading off the 3rd inning. Walked his last time up in the 7th. Smolinski going to second, and ball is chopped to third. Dominguez right there. Throws out Odor into scoring position to Smolinski, but it's 0-2 outs now. And Shin-Soo Choo will come up.
Designated hitter, Shin-Soo Choo.
Bo Porter, who saw his ball club break at 7-game losing streak in last night's game. Looking for the Astros to hang the 4th consecutive defeat on the Rangers. Rangers lost 3 in a row to the Astros for the first time since 2004. 10 years ago. 0-1 to Chu. Shinsu 1 for 4 tonight. A single came back in the first inning. Balls back to the plate. Hitting.
Another one of those balls. It doesn't happen to anybody else except him. In a situation where you're absolutely trying to throw a strike, a guy that's only walked 4 guys all year, and throws a ball about 3 feet inside and hits Chu. That's happened to him 5 times this year. They're not just brushing his uniform, they're just killing him. He's trying to throw in, but still.
That ball was behind him for a good part of the way.
That's the last thing Qualls is trying to do there, but nevertheless it happened.
When you throw a ball down there, there's nothing a hitter can do. He's surprised, first of all. Secondly, the ball tails back right into him, and no matter which way he moves, it seems like, he's going to get hit.
You don't have time to figure out whether to go back or forward.
So 2 on with 2 out. Elvis up 1 for 4 tonight. Well, Rangers going over 3.5 hours again tonight. And
well, I guess it makes sense when you look at the teams that have played the most of them. 2 of the top 5 are in the game tonight. Went over 4 hours in New York. What was last night?
Last night was 3:48.
3:48 and 3:30 something.
We're sneaking up on 3:40.
You know, if you're winning, you don't really notice it.
Right.
But when you're losing, then you seem to notice it. It's a little more painful. Generally because the other team's spending so much time at bat. Clank.
Carlos Corcoran had a little too much air in that glove. 2-1. Rangers with Smolinski at second and Chu at first. Elvis's base hit came back in the 3rd inning. Smolinski with a single, and Chu was hit by the pitch. The 2-1 offering. And that's low, 3-1. Claus trying to work himself into a little bit of a jam here. Rangers trail by 5, so they can't get the tying run to home plate, but they can get the tying run into the on-deck circle if Elvis gets aboard. That would bring up Alex Rios and make Adrian Beltre the tying run in the on-deck circle. The 3-1 pitch. Well, now both Smolinski and Chu can be off and moving with Qualls' next offering. Qualls about ready to throw his 19th pitch of the inning. The payoff is on the way. And we'll have to try it again. Qualls, the 5th reliever used by Bo Porter tonight. Brad Peacock started. He's still the pitcher of record for the Astros. They had Downs, Zide, Sip, Fields, and now Qualls. Right-hander is ready one more time. Runners on the move. Payoff pitch. Got him swinging. Elvis gone on strike. The Rangers have run out of time here tonight. No runs, a hit. They strand 2. And for the 2nd straight night, Astros have broken the Rangers down early, and the Rangers just never able to catch up here tonight. 8-3 the final, as the Astros have won the first 2 of this series. Dana Larson, Mark McLemore back to wrap things up right after this on Fox Sports Southwest.